Crucial stretch in the first half of the Great Lakes East standings in a log jam division, and the Rockford Rivets trying to end a 5-game road trip over 500 as they head into Simmons Field for the second time this season to take on the Kenosha Kingfish. Welcome in, everybody, to the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. I'm Andre Magaro. Happy you could join us from Simmons Field here in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and a very tight race for that Great Lakes East first half title. The Rivets currently sit at a record of 12-12. They're a game and a half out of first place in the Great Lakes East. Kenosha, one of those teams above them, at a record of 13-11. There's a half game behind top dogs Kalamazoo. There'll be a lot of scoreboard watching in the next handful of days, but the Rivets got to take care of business as they transition to a tough stretch of their schedule to end the first half. It's the front end of a home-and-home with the Kingfish here at Simmons Field before heading to Rivets Stadium tomorrow to end out the 2-game set. But we'll start with tonight's festivities. First, your Rockford Rivets lineup and how they go 1 through 9 against Kenosha. First, leading off, it's the usual suspect, right-handed hitting center fielder Ty Krittenberger. And then to the left side goes Brody Harding batting second. The righty Matthew Mebane hits in the 3-hole, the Northwoods League leader in RBIs with 26. And then the cleanup spot in the designated hitter tonight's left-handed hitting Ben Brantley. Right-handed hitting outfielder Cam McDonald bats 5th. The lefty Dylan Robertson 6th. Righty Drew Baker hits 7th. Lefty Colton Klein 8th. And then the switch hitting shortstop Jeffrey Ince rounds it out. A lot of balance in this Rockford lineup, alternating right to left all the way down 1 through 9. It's Krittenberger, Harding, Mebane, Brantley, McDonald, Robertson, Baker, Klein, and Ince. In the field for the Kenosha Kingfish, wearing their normal cream home uniforms with the navy lettering and numbers outlined in red. Your outfield left to right, Nick Iannatone makes his first start against the Rivets this season in 3 games. Parker Stinson out in center. James McCoy has been a Rockford killer this season. He's in right. Josh Leslie, the Kenosha product, over at third. Michael Dallas at shortstop. He'll look to turn 2 up the middle with Brady Council. Red hot Jacob Tobias over at first. Gage Williams does the catching behind the dish of the starter, Blake Pivaroff. Second sign that Pivaroff has faced Rockford already this season. So far, he's given up 1 earned run in just 4 innings of work throughout his 2 appearances. But he was locked in the last time he faced the Rivets on June 8th. 2 1/3, allowed just 1 base runner on a hit. No walks, 5 strikeouts. One of those strikeouts came against Ty Krittenberger, who settles into the right-handed batter's box, and we're set to get underway from Simmons Field. First pitch fastball up and away for ball 1 at 6:36 local time. Krittenberger this season, batting average dipping under 300 for the first time, been in a bit of a cold spell on this road trip. He watches a second pitch upstairs for ball 2. Hitting .296 through 22 games, 3 home runs, 19 batted in. Reached base in every start he's had this season. And here's count here, 2-0, the pitch. Swing and foul tip straight back into the backstop here at Simmons Field. So 2-1 to Krittenberger on this road trip. Played in all 4 games. He's just 2 for 13. After a strong 5 for 18 homestand. Ty looking to find his swing, his first real slump of the summer of 2022. Bright sunny skies set over Simmons Field here, the 2-1. First look at the breaking ball. It's over the inner third for a called strike. That's a part of the arsenal that Pivaroff really snapped effectively last time out. He has a curveball that he uses 32% of the time, but his made-off speed can be the changeup, 48% chase rate. 2-2, Krittenberger lines it to center field, but it hangs up for Parker Stinson, who makes the catch belt high for out number 1, retiring Krittenberger. That was scalded off the bat, but it's straight to center field for Stinson. Beautiful weather conditions, as we said, not the heat wave that Rockford experienced in Kokomo. High 70s for your temperature tonight, mostly sunny skies, and a slight breeze that was blowing out in pregame warm-ups has since gone to a breeze blowing right to left across the field. So could knock out anything going towards that short porch and left. First pitch to Brody Harding is over the inner third for strike 1. Harding out of the 2 holes been good so far through 13 games. He's hitting .341. That's 15 for 44. 9 runs batted in for the infielder from the University of Illinois. Pivaroff spikes a fastball and the count's even. Harding settles back into the lefty box. A 6-game hitting streak for Brody. He went 1 for 5 yesterday with a run batted in. Pivaroff unable on that occasion to get the changeup over, and the count goes to 2-1. Kenosha, those normal cream uniforms. The caps a red brim, a white palette in front with the blue Kingfish K, and then navy blue around the rest of those caps. 2-1. Fastball upstairs and a friendly count to Brody Harding. Rockford counters in its usual road graphite-colored uniforms with the black pinstripes, blocked gold numbers and lettering on those uniforms outlined in black. Black helmets as well as a 3-1 pitch. It's hit on the ground towards second base on a couple of hops. It's vacuumed in by Council. His throw to first in time. Harding retired. 2 up, 2 down so far here in the top of the first. So that'll bring up Mebane with the bases empty and 2 outs. Mebane's batting average been sitting around that 300 mark throughout the road trip. He's at 298 right now. 4 home runs, 26 batted in. Pivaroff out of the windup. High arcing delivery. And he gets Mebane to bite at some early off speed. So an 0-1 count to Mebane. Pivaroff out of the windup. Fastball is on the outside edge. Beautiful pitch from Pivaroff, who has Mebane down in the hole 0-2. Mebane was 0 for 4 yesterday, but so far 5 for 16 with 4 batted in on this road trip. 0-2 is tight. Mebane limbos himself out of the way and an inside fastball, and the count goes to 1-2. Mebane rotates the bat off his right shoulder, standing upright in the righty box. Stands closed off to right center field. 2-1 pitch, breaking ball, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. And now the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That first check swing was called a ball. Mebane did hold up, but he did not hold up on the second occasion. So Pivaroff's 1 pitch away from getting out of the frame. The 2-2 pitch. Trying to snap a curveball, but it's low and inside, and the count rides full. This is something Mebane's been better at as of late. 6 walks on the season, but a lot of them have come in recent succession. Taking his walks when pitchers don't give him anything good. 3-2 pitch. There was a letter-high fastball. He fouls it straight back. The count stays full. Pivaroff has not gone particularly long into either of his outings so far this season. Last action Saturday was an inning and 2/3 of 1-run baseball in Kokomo. 3-2, another fastball fouled off, this time to the netting first base side. Very compact here at Simmons Field. The dark green colored seating sits right on top of the dugout. That's only a few feet away from fair territory. 3-2 pitch. Mebane, a line shot towards left field. A sinking liner straight at Iannatone. He makes the catch without having to move too far from his perch in deep left. And that will end the top of the first. Rivets go quietly, 1-2-3 in their half. But the starter, Tanner Knight, his first start in the Northwoods League. He'll take the mound against the Kingfish. When we come back, still scoreless through half an inning on the Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the first from Simmons Field. Kenosha coming to the dish against first-time Rivets starter Tanner Knight. As Rockford went quietly in order in their half of the first inning. Look at this Kingfish lineup, 1-9. Parker Stinson, left-handed hitting outfielder, leads things off. Then it's a switch hitter, James McCoy, in the 2-hole. Been really effective against Rockford this season. One of the hottest bats in the Kenosha lineup is Jacob Tobias. He bats from the left side in the 3-hole. Followed by his former southpaw Drake Westcott, DHing and batting cleanup. Speaking of hot bats, Brady Council the right-handed hitter, first righty down in the 5-hole for Kenosha tonight. He's been red hot as well. Nick Iannatone, left-handed hitting outfielder, hits 6th. Bottom third, all from the right side. Josh Leslie, Gage Williams, Michael Dallas. They'll face Tanner Knight. Just 4 innings, much like his counterpart on the mound, Pivaroff, in the Northwoods League so far this season through 2 outings. He's 1-0, has not allowed a run yet on 4 hits, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. For Knight, it's his first outing since Saturday against the Green Bay Rockers at the finale of that homestand for Rockford, where he went 2 strong innings, not allowing a run on a walk and a strikeout, 3 hits as well. First pitch out of the windup, first base side. Fastball snaps over the outside edge for strike 1 to Parker Stinson. Stinson through 21 games this season, a .276 hitter, 2 home runs, 13 batted in. One of the very effective bats in this Kenosha lineup. Only hits .242 as a team, but has slowly seen its offensive numbers tick up as Knight is north with a fastball to even the count. 1-1 to Stinson. .427 on base percentage for the left-handed hitting outfielder out of Indiana State. 1-1. Knight showing early tendency to nibble at the outside corner. That time doesn't get the call with the fastball, and it's 2-1. Home plate umpire calling balls and strikes tonight is Seth Hansen. Austin Maycheck down the third base line. Mark D'Amelio down the first base line as Stinson fouls off a fastball inside, and the count goes to 2-2. Stinson's reached base in all 21 games this season. Most recently in their 2 games at Battle Creek, went 2 for 7 with 2 triples, 1 in each game. 2-2 pitch is driven out towards left field. It'll challenge Colton Klein out back towards the wall. It's gone. Ball just kept carrying out to left. The wind showing a tendency to blow that way. But Parker Stinson's 3rd home run of the season, an opposite field shot to lead off the game for the Kingfish. Slow starts have been nothing new for Rockford on this road trip, and they'll have to dig out of an early hole again. It's 1-0 Kingfish. There goes the 0-0 ERA for Tanner Knight. 2-2 belt-high fastball, and Stinson got around on it, able to poke it the other way over the short porch and left. It's 3:14 down the line here left at Simmons Field, and doesn't go infield very much after that. First pitch swinging, here's McCoy. Ground ball to third. Dylan Robertson throws across the diamond in time to nail him for the first out of the first. Good settle me down out if you're Tanner Knight. Let's look at the Rockford defense. Over at the hot corner, mentioned Dylan Robertson at third base. Jeff Ince at shortstop. Brody Harding at second. They've been phenomenal up the middle in recent games. Matthew Mebane is over at first base. Colton Klein in left field tracked the ball over the fence for the home run. Ty Krittenberger in center. Cam McDonald back in the field tonight in right. Drew Baker will do the catching of Tanner Knight. 1 down, nobody on for Jacob Tobias. First pitch from Knight. Tried to snap that breaking ball, but it's low in the zone to Tobias. Tobias been hitting a lot better as of late. Through 18 games, just a .254 bat as he'll take a fastball high for 2-0. Knight's trying to find that zone here early on. 3 home runs, 13 RBIs. For a guy who spent a lot of time this year at Arizona State as the DH, also played a little first base. There's a line shot over the head of the shortstop Ince. It'll split the gap in left center field. Klein cuts it off, and he has a plus arm. His throw in keeps Tobias to a single. And that makes it an 11-game hitting streak for Jacob Tobias over at first base. He's been consistent, and this Kenosha's team continues to find the sticks offensively. That'll bring up Drake Westcott. Westcott 4 straight bats to hit from the left side against Knight, who peers in and deals for the first time out of the stretch today. Founds the outside edge with a fastball for strike 1. Westcott a .269 hitter through 19 games. Home run, 15 RBIs. Had another red-hot series at Battle Creek. Tobias leading off first, held on by Brantley. There's the Knight changeup, but it's outside. Westcott was 2 for 4 last night. A double and an RBI, was 4 for 7 overall in the series out in Michigan. Next pitch from Knight, swung on, popped up. Towering shot to left field. Klein hasn't measured up. He'll make the catch a handful of steps in front of the warning track. Lazy fly ball for Westcott, 2 down in the first. Tobias heads back to first base. First 5 hitters have been deadly in this Kenosha lineup in recent games. That ends with Brady Council, freshman infielder from Minnesota. 345 hitter through 17 games. Faces this Kenosha side as the first pitch from Knight's a fastball that splits the plate. Home run and 12 RBIs for the infielder at 6'2", 185. Holds his hands close to his jersey, wiggles the bat off his right shoulder. Knight goes straight back to the breaking ball and gets strike 2 over the outside edge to Council. 8-game hitting streak for Brady Council, batting just a shade under 500. He's 12 for 28, 3 doubles and 5 RBIs. 0-2 pitch is laced out to center field. Klein backing up, he'll look up, and that one's gone. The short porch and left has come to play for the Kingfish tonight. Brady Council, a line drive that carried straight out of here to the fishbowl in left center. Second home run of the inning for the Kingfish. They lead 3-0. That ball got out of here in a hurry. And the best version of Brady Council we've seen in the collegiate game has been in a Kingfish uniform. His second home run, give him 14 RBIs already. And it's 3-0 Kingfish in the first. First pitch, Knight misses outside with the fastball to Nick Iannatone. 6th Kingfish to bat in the lineup here in the first. In the lefty box, he takes strike 1 over the inner third from Knight. Counts even at 1-1. Iannatone's average has dropped almost 100 points since the last time these two teams played. He's been slumping a bit since these two teams have last played. Only saw 1 at-bat against Rockford in that first 2-game set. Last action came Sunday against Kalamazoo, where he went 0 for 3. So hasn't been seeing regular action in the lineup either, as Knight comes straight back with a changeup, and it's 2-2. That did snap a 6-game hitting streak for Iannatone, where he went 7 for 24. Knight's way outside with that delivery. Couldn't find the grip on the breaker, and the count's full to Iannatone. Knight out of the windup with the 3-2. It's down low, and there's the first walk for Tanner Knight. Stat line has not looked pretty for Louisiana Tech man so far here in the first inning. He'll face the 7th batter of the frame, Josh Leslie. Especially you go back and look at that Brady Council home run. Came on an 0-2 pitch, just hung it over the middle of the plate. Council did not miss that one. A line drive shot. It's only waist-high fencing down in the Fishbowl Club at Simmons into left center field, but probably would have cleared a normal wall as well. First pitch called strike down the middle to Josh Leslie. Leslie's just 8 for 43 this season, a 186 average through 12 games, home run, and 5 RBIs. Rockford saw him right at his arrival in Kenosha from McNeese State, third-year Kingfish member. 0 for 4 last night's game, snapped a brief 5-game hitting streak. Bluff steal from the runner at first, throw back from Baker, the tag is not in time. Close, but Iannatone gets back with the head first dive. Rockford's trying to get out of what's been a nightmare bottom of the first so far. 2 home runs for the Kingfish, a leadoff shot from Parker Stinson, and a 2-run shot from Brady Council, giving the Kingfish a 3-0 lead here in the first. Knight, curveballs low and away to Leslie. Count goes to 2-1. 23 pitches so far for Knight here in the first inning. Rockford will really be hoping that he can get out of this frame and give them some effective work. Left foot perched in front of the right, kicks off the first base side of the mound. It's popped up. Baker will give it a look, but it's straight back and heads over towards the concourse at Simmons Field. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Leslie looking to pick up the 4th Kingfish hit of the inning It would also be his first career hit against Rockford. He's 0 for 8 against the Rivets this season. In his career as a third-year Kingfish member, 0 for 21. Runner goes. This one's down the third base line. Boy, he missed his first hit from inches as that one just goes foul. Kicks into the Kingfish bullpen. Iannatone was off with the pitch. But it stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Josh Leslie. Was very effective for the Cowboys this spring, primarily their third baseman, playing in 39 games, hit .331, 6 home runs, 33 RBIs, was first team all-conference. 2-2 from Knight, just off the plate with the fastball. Count's going to ride full again. Next pitch will be number 28 of the inning for Tanner Knight. And then you got to start thinking about getting somebody up in the bullpen if you're Rockford, should Leslie reach. Again, if you eclipse 35 in a frame, you cannot re-enter. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss. He got him. Breaking ball got Leslie swinging. Big third out for Knight in terms of him just staying in this ball game. But he won't last long if the Kenosha bats stay red hot. 2 home runs in the frame, one from Brady Council, one from Parker Stinson. Have the Kingfish out to a 3-0 lead through 1. We'll step aside. Rivets got some work to do early and again here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the second inning, 4-5-6 due up for the Rivets, and some work to do for Rockford once again here on the road trip, trying to finish over 500 in a 5-game road stint. They trail 3-0 through 1 inning. 2 home runs from the Kingfish off starter Tanner Knight in the bottom of the first. Ball's been carrying the night at Simmons Field. We'll see if Rockford can get in on the action as well. Blake Pivaroff retired them 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning. Here's Ben Brantley into the lefty box to lead things off. Cleanup man DHing tonight for the Rivets. 14 of his first 36. He yanks a ball foul. Watch out. Straight over top of the field level seating in the underpassage here at Simmons Field. It's off the netting in front of the fans in the stands. And it'll be 0-1 to Brantley. Way out in front of a fastball there. He's hitting .389 through 10 games so far. Home run, 5 runs batted in. Pulls off the inside delivery from Pivaroff, and the count's 1-1. Not only Brantley hitting the ball well, really good on-base presence. Reached in 23 of 43 appearances so far. He lifts his hands out of the way of an inside changeup, but it's called strike 2. It's an 8 of 10 so far. Went 1 for 3 yesterday. Pivaroff out of the windup. 1-2 pitch. Low and away. Brantley laying off, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brantley does crowd the plate from the left side, juts his hands out over home plate as Pivaroff went with the elevated fastball, and it's fouled straight back. Brantley lost the grip on the bat with his left hand as he corkscrewed himself into the ground on the foul ball. Still 2-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Good pitch from Pivaroff. He located well. Brantley down on strikes for the first strikeout of the game for the Kingfish arm. On down here on the top of the second for Cam McDonald. Pivarov picking him up right where he left off last time out against the Rivets so far. Base is empty for McDonald. First pitch swinging sends a grounder foul off the facing of the Kingfish dugout. McDonald's 8 for his first 36. Home run, 9 runs batted in. It's really heated up on this road trip for Rockford. He's 5 for 16 with 2 RBIs and a stolen base. Next pitch swings and sends a pop-up onto the right side. It's in shallow right field for McCoy. The right fielder drifts over shallow right center and makes a catch. So 2 quick outs here in the second for Blake Pivarov. Two outs, nobody on for Dylan Robertson. Rivets still trailing 3-0 here in the top of the second, looking for their first base runner of the contest against Blake Pivarov, who's had the number of these Rivets players. Robertson in the lefty box, first pitch tight for ball 1. Pivarov again, first time out against the Rivets, just the lone base runner was a single to Colton Klein, who's in the 8-hole tonight for Rockford. Robertson was one of 4 Rivets to face Pivarov his first start and flew out to the center fielder. He's taken inside again, up in the count 2-0. Wind up from the tall 6'1" right-hander, the pitch. Low and away, count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. Pivarov did not eat up a lot of innings either at Arizona State this season. 25 innings through 19 appearances. Was used mainly as a reliever. Did have a save to his name as the 3-1, rather 3-0 is over the plate to Robertson to make the count 3-1. Excuse me. But not a lot of action as a starter for the Sun Devils. You can tell the Kingfish slowly starting to stretch him out. 3-1's low for ball 4. Lost him on the fastball. So there's your first base runner if you're the Rivets. A 2-out walk to Dylan Robertson. He maintains his hot on-base percentage, is now reached in 17 of 19 games this season, an on-base percentage north of 440. 2-out base runner, we'll see how aggressive Rockford gets, trailing by 3 with their 7-hole hitter Drew Baker coming up to the plate. Baker into the right-handed batter's box, just 2 for his first 20. Man for Wright State looking to break out offensively. Swinging at the first pitch, pops it up. Playable in foul territory. First base side for Tobias. He loses it in the sun. Lands behind him as he was shielding his face with his first baseman's mitt right on the edge of the first base coach's box. And that could have been a routine play for Tobias, but the angle the sun sets at here at Simmons Field causing some serious problems for the college teammate of Pivarov on the mound. So just strike 1 to Baker. He gets a second life. The sun sets over the third base side here at Simmons Field, so it's right in the face of the right fielder and first baseman, and it looked like Tobias just couldn't quite track that one cleanly. So 0-1 to Baker. Next pitch to him, breaking ball low to even the count. It was a really good curveball from Pivarov. Fell off the table really quickly. Baker was able to take. Man out of Danville, Kentucky's 0 for his last 13, has 7 strikeouts to his name. And he struggled offensively, but trying to put together some better swings here. Takes another breaking ball low and away. Now he's up in the count. 2 balls and a strike. There is an arm up and throwing in the Kingfish bullpen. Again, Pivarov's longest outing has only been 2 1/3, and he has fallen behind consecutive hitters here. Pitch is inside to Baker, lifts his arms out of the way, and it's 3-1. You got to wonder how long the leash is. Pivarov's longest outing at Arizona State this spring was only 2 2/3. That was back on April 10th at Stanford. 3-1's low and away, ball 4. He lost him. So back-to-back walks with 2 outs here in the top of the second. And the Rivets have a base runner in scoring position. We'll see if the bottom of their lineup can produce, starting with Colton Klein. But we'll see if Pivarov lasts long enough to face him. Klein was the only Rivet that got a hit against Pivarov in his inaugural start against the Rivets back on June 8th. There is an arm up and throwing in the Kenosha pen. See if this is just a come get the end man visit or pull the plug visit. And Pivarov isn't somebody that even primarily features as a pitcher. He was ranked as a top 100 shortstop nationally when he was in high school, but he got a lot of pitching work this past season at Arizona State because of how thin the staff was. Where a lot of arms that left via the transfer portal and their pitching and head coach both exited very close to the season. So new head coach Willie Bloomquist had to rush to rebuild the staff the best he could through the transfer portal. That's what got Pivarov into Arizona State. His numbers were modest this season, an ERA north of 7, but he's been effective in little work here in the Northwoods League, especially against these Rivets. Mound visit has concluded. They will ride with Pivarov here in the second to face Colton Klein. Batting average just a tick under 270. Home runs, 7 runs batted in, and Klein has seen the best version of himself offensively as of late. First pitch is upstairs. A fastball from Pivarov makes it 1-0. He's 5 for his last 15 with 6 runs batted in. Last action came in the back end of the Wisconsin Rapids series where he went 1 for 2. Spin move back to second base. It sails out into center field, but a late jump from Robertson as the ball was eluded from the glove of Dallas coming over to cover from shortstop. Stinson was alert in center field, so Robertson stays put at second base. No advancement from the runners. An errant throw on the attempted pickoff play doesn't cost Kenosha here. Stays at 1-0 to Klein in the box. Left-handed hitting outfielder from Carthage College. Here's the pitch for Pivarov. Low ball 2. Eleven of the last 13 pitches out of the arm of the right-hander have not been in the strike zone. See if Klein's taking all the way here. 3-0 Kenosha in the top of the second. Back-to-back 2-out walks for the Rivets. Here's the pitch. 2-0 is at the letters for strike 1. Good location from Pivarov. Klein adjusts the helmet on his head. His batting average in the last 2 weeks jumping by well over 20 points. 2-1, laced into right field, but it's straight at McCoy. Squared off to the foul line, makes the catch atop his left shoulder, and Colton Klein drilled that baseball, but it's nothing but allowed out number 3. Rockford hits the ball hard in the inning, but nothing to show for it. They leave 2 on base stranded here in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 men left. Still 3-0 Kingfish as we head to the bottom of the second here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the second from Simmons Field, 3-0 Kingfish. They've jumped on the Rockford Rivets early here. Rockford is going to have to try to battle from behind. They've dropped 3 runs to the opposition now in the last 3 games in the first 2 innings of contests. Tanner Knight's going to try to limit the damage here in the bottom of the second. Set to face 8-9-1. We'll start with the catcher, Gage Williams. Williams into the righty box is 8 for 41 this season through 11 games. 9 RBIs to his name. First pitch from Knight. Curveball is away and low. Ball 1 to Williams. Knight out of the windup. He'll work from the first base side. Fastball up and in. Swung on a miss from Williams. The count goes to 1-1. Williams been hot as of late. Hasn't been particularly strong offensively all season, but has certainly rebounded in recent games as Knight's inside with a heater to make it 2-1. 3 straight multi-hit games for the man out of Wichita State. 6 for his last 15 with 4 RBIs. Ground ball up the middle, off the back leg of Knight. Scrambles off the mound to field it. Throws going to the ground, and his throw is in time. What a play from Tanner Knight. Had to react out to his right after the ball ricocheted off his leg. Picked the baseball up, slipped in the grass as he threw to first, but it was in time to nail Williams for out number 1. Scarra's going to come out of the dugout to check on his right-hander, along with home plate umpire Seth Hansen. But boy, what a play from Tanner Knight to rebound. That had base hit written all over it for Williams. The right-hander, sometimes in that situation, you see a pitcher lose his footing in the grass, you don't even throw the baseball. Not only did he throw it, he made an accurate strike to Mebane at first. So a 1-3 put out. And that will be a big first out for Rockford here in the second as they face the 9-hole man, Michael Dallas. Knight looks fine. Scarra's back in the dugout for Rockford. Dallas settles into the righty box. We're set to restart play. He's 8 for 46 this season through 15 games. Home runs, 4 RBIs. Knight stings the outside edge with a breaking ball to start out Dallas 0-1. Kentucky Wildcats 0 for 4 this season against the Rivets. Does have 2 strikeouts in a couple of games. He swings and pops one up. Shallow right field to the second baseman Harding on the edge of the outfield grass makes the catch at second base for out number 2. Made it look routine with the sun blasting in his face as it continues to set third base side here at Simmons Field, but it's 2 up, 2 down in the second. So Kingfish turn the lineup over to Parker Stinson. Stinson led off the bottom of the first in a big way against Knight. 2-2 pitch, he sent over the short porch and left for a solo shot. That was already his 3rd home run of the season. In game number 22 for him, Knight, first pitch, changeup rather, is off the plate for ball 1. Ninth extra base hit of the season for Stinson as he takes the fastball upstairs to go up 2-0. Indiana State Sycamore set to go in the lefty box. 2-0. He swings and pops one up. This time on the left side. Shallow left field. And it's the left fielder Klein calling off the shortstop Ince to make the catch and retire the side. 1-2-3 frame for Tanner Knight. Nice bounce back inning as he retires the side in order on just 9 pitches here in the second. Still 3-0 Kingfish. We'll head to the third after this. And Rockford will look to bring 9-1-2 in its lineup to the dish when we come back here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the third, and the Kingfish already into their bullpen here in this one. They lead by a score of 3-0. Starter Blake Piveroff, more of a bridge man, and he had another stellar 2 innings of work against the Rivets here at Simmons Field. His second outing against Rockford, and his second time putting up a pair of scoreless frames against the Rivets. It's right-hander Jacob Gehring out of Ohio State coming in for Kenosha. So far this season through 10 1/3 has allowed 7 earned runs, although 5 of those came in his debut outing against Kalamazoo. But he's in the zone early and often. 3 walks, 12 strikeouts, a 6.10 ERA that continues to shrink for the 6'1", 225-pound freshman right-hander. He'll face 9-1-2 in the Rockford lineup here in the top of the third inning. Starts with the switch-hitting shortstop, Jeff Ince. Bats from the left side against the burly right-hander who fires in a fastball outside for ball one. Plenty of whip on the arm action of Gehring. Ince on the season. This is game number 10 for him. Shortstop out of Louisiana Tech is 2 for 22 so far in this campaign. Next pitch from Gehring, fastball over the outside edge, evens the count at 1-1. Ince trying to break out of an 0 for 15 spell right now. Did have a couple of walks out in Kokomo. He fouls one, straight back on another fastball from Gehring, down to the count 1-2. Going to break out of the spell here, but he's going to have to battle back to do it. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Gehring's pitch. Fastball fouled back again. He'll stay alive. Ince set to go. In the left-handed batter's box, he wiggles the bat off his left shoulder, slightly bent at the knees in an open stance. 1-2, swing and a miss. Ince goes down on strikes. First strikeout for Gehring on an elevated fastball. Ince expanded the zone, 1 away in the third. Gehring doesn't appear to be the most overwhelming velocity-wise. His fastball sits up in the high 80s. He has a lot of cut action to it, though. Features a cutter about 50% of the time. Also a curveball, slider, and changeup. The curveball being his main off-speed pitch. Doesn't often go to the well with the changeup. Top of the lineup in a right-handed inning, Ty Krittenberger sees his first off-speed pitch just outside the zone. That was a rare changeup from Gehring, but it's taken for ball 1 to Krittenberger. Leadoff man out of Western Kentucky flew out to center field sharply back in the first. He swings and pops one up. This one's going to be playable on the infield. Williams is off with the mask. Up the line, it's a pitcher, Gehring, on the left side of the infield and makes the catch. Just a couple steps away from home plate. He calls off both Leslie and Williams to retire Krittenberger for the second out of the third. Don't see a P1 very often, but it'll mean 2 outs, nobody on here in the third for Brody Harding. So Harding, so far tonight, grounder to second against Piveroff. First pitch he sees is a fastball over the outside edge. And although the velocity appears to be deceptive for a guy like Gehring, that pitch is getting on these Rockford hitters a lot faster than high 80s from what it seems like. But he's got quick, snappy arm action operating on the first base side out of the windup. Hands come together at the belt. Arches his hands high over his head before he fires home the next pitch. A fastball grounded out to shortstop. Dallas engulfs it behind the second base bag and throws to first in time to retire Harding. 1-2-3 frame for Jacob Gehring. Very efficient as Kenosha has kept Rockford off the board through the first 3 frames. Still 3-0 Kingfish. We'll step aside here on the Rivets Baseball Network. 3-4, do it for the Kingfish. They lead the Rivets 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the third here from Simmons Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Rivets trying to end the road trip over 500, but off to climb out of their third consecutive deficit to do that. James McCoy, Jacob Tobias, Drake Westcott, your schedule 3 for Kenosha. The switch hitter James McCoy bats from the left side against the righty starter, still on the mound, Tanner Knight. First pitch fastball to McCoy is just off the outside edge for ball one. So 1-0 to McCoy, first time up, swung at the first pitch and sent a tapper over to third base. Third baseman Robertson's even with the bag off the line currently. Rest of the infield is back for Rockford as Knight snaps in a breaking ball to even the count at 1-1. Mentioned McCoy's had a lot of success against Rockford this season as the next pitch is lined straight back up the middle. It'll get through on a couple of hops for a base hit. So there's hit number 4 for Kenosha. James McCoy stays red hot against the Rivets. Of course, had that big night on June 8th, the first meeting of the season between the two teams, where he went 4 for 4 with 2 doubles and 4 RBIs. Reached base 6 times with 2 walks as well, and was Northwoods League Player of the Night back on June 8th. And has continued such success with a single and a second AB here in the third. For McCoy, that's now hits in 5 straight starts for him. He leads off first base as Jacob Tobias steps in. Knight will pick on the runner at first, but he's back with the head first dive easily. McCoy has also now reached base in 21 of 22 games that he's played in. He's a man who did not play for Kentucky this season, showing impressive stuff for the Kingfish so far this summer. First pitch is outside to Tobias. Left-handed hitting first baseman out of Bakersfield, California, extended his hitting streak to 11 games with a first inning single. As part of that 2-run homer for Brady Council, they gave the Kingfish a 3-0 lead as the next pitch splits the plate for strike one on a Knight fastball. Tobias finally starting to pick up where he hit for Arizona State this season. 280 for the Sun Devils through 51 games, making an immediate impact as an all-conference member as a freshman in the Pac-12. Next pitch is well inside from Knight. Count goes to 2-1. Tobias is an imposing figure in the lefty batter's box. 6'1", 230 pounds. He can pack a punch with the bat in his own right. 2 balls and a strike. Runner leads off first. Here's the pitch from Knight. Up and away, ball 3. Fastball command hasn't been there consistently for the righty out of Louisiana Tech tonight. He's only officially walked 1 so far, but he's fallen behind a lot of hitters. Knight peeks in, pins the glove to his left hip before he fires home. This one's golfed out towards right field. McDonald going back towards the track, towards the wall, and one hops off the base of the wall. McCoy got a late jump. He's getting the wave around third. The relay throw in from Harding is up the line and late. Tobias trying to go to third. He'll be thrown out easily there. But it's an RBI double for Jacob Tobias as he continues to swing a hot stick. 14th RBI of the campaign, scores McCoy and makes it 4-0 Kingfish. Another 2-strike situation. That was a 3-1 count, rather, from Knight, but just too much of the plate, and Tobias drove that ball out into right center field. 4th multi-hit game of the streak for him, but he's nabbed off at third base, so they're empty for Drake Westcott, who takes outside for ball 1. Westcott's 0 for 1. He flew out to left field the other way his first time up. He fouls a pitch straight back. He counts even at a ball and a strike. Well, this Kenosha team has come out ready to hit tonight. This one is lined foul down the third baseline. Count goes to 1-2. This is not the Kingfish offense we saw first time through here at Simmons Field. They scored 7 runs in their first game against the Rivets this season, but were helped out by 15 walks and then shut out by Rockford back on June 9th. But they have been swinging a hot bat. Swept Battle Creek on the road coming into this series and have continued it here so far. 4 runs on 5 hits. It's a 2-2 count to Westcott. Here's the pitch from Knight. Change-ups down low, and the count goes full. Still no action in that Rockford pen. You wonder how long they stick with Knight here. He's getting hit around all over the place. First 2 times through the lineup. Set at the belt out of the windup. Big 3-2 pitch. It's inside for ball 4. Lost him on the fastball. Second walk for Knight. Still only 1 man out here in the third, and Brady Council comes to the dish. This hasn't been par for the norm for Rockford starting pitching or the pitching staff in general. It's been one of the strengths of the team this season. Council into the righty box. He got the better of Knight first time up. An 0-2 pitch he sent over the wall and left for a 2-run homer. He swings and sends the first ball foul on the first base side to fall behind 0-1. Rockford has a staff this season, 4.24 team ERA. That's 6th best in the Northwoods League. They've been climbing the charts as of late, but after having the 2nd worst ERA in the league to end last season, it's become one of the strengths. There's a hanging breaking ball from Knight. It's sent out into center, but it's straight at Krittenberger for a loud out number 2. The Rockford rotation ERA is also currently sitting at just under 3. The starting pitching's been really good for this team and put it in a position to win a lot of ball games. It just has been a rare off start tonight for Tanner Knight. Even the outs have been hard contact in this inning, but there's 2 down for Nick Iannatone. Left-handed hitting outfielder is still not registered in AB in the ball game. He walked in the first as he takes strike 1. Iannatone, bent at the knees. Finishing up another season at Johnson County Community College before heading to East Tennessee State this season. Next pitch is low. The count's 1-1. .413 hitter through 60 games at the JUCO level this season for Iannatone. 1-1 pitch. Up and away, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike to Iannatone. Knight set at the belt. Fastball low and inside. It kicks away from Baker to the backstop. Jogging up the second is Westcott. The count's quickly 3-1. Iannatone had to jump out of the way, avoid that one hitting his shoe tops. So it's 3 balls and 1 strike now. Sophomore outfielder from Plainfield. Looking for a second straight walk or perhaps an RBI single with the runner out there in scoring position. The 3-1's down the left field line, foul. Kicked off the brick wall along the Kingfish bullpen. The count's full to Iannatone. Bullpen's exposed here at Simmons Field to the field of play. There's a brick wall all around the facing of Simmons Field until you get to the outfield, up the lines and behind home plate. It's all brick. Not a lot of foul territory ever. Ball plays more like a pinball in foul territory. 3-2, 2 outs, runner on second, already 1 across in the frame for Kenosha. They have a 4-0 lead. Knight looks back the runner at second, not being held on. Super aggressive lead as a 3-2 is upstairs for ball 4. Lost Iannatone for the second time today with an upstairs changeup. It's the 3rd walk from Knight. Him and Westcott on base with 2 down for Josh Leslie. It's already your second inning of 20-plus pitches for Tanner Knight. Tyler Fletcher is going to come out for a mound visit. Try to talk to the right-hander. Again, there's nobody up in the Rockford bullpen, even stretching. You got to think they're going to continue to ride Tanner Knight here. Hope he finds this effectiveness. Good news is his lone strikeout did come against Leslie back in the first inning. If you're Tyler Fletcher, you just got to try to correct the mechanics for Tanner Knight, whose fastball hasn't been there. He really plays off of that fastball, hasn't been able to locate it. It's been out of the zone very often and has tried to come back in counts and left a lot of pitches over the plate. but he's falling behind with the fastball, and that's led to a lot of this hard contact from this Kingfish team. So Fletcher heading back towards the Rockford dugout. The Knights set to face Leslie a second time. Next pitch will be number 60. Leslie, as I said, went down swinging his first time up. Oh, for his last 5 after 5 straight games with a hit. He's removed his batting gloves in the righty box. First pitch swinging, he sends the ball foul, first base side. Leslie trying to do anything to get a hit against the Rivets. 0 for 22 in his career against Rockford. But it's been a night where everybody in a Kingfish uniform has come out offensively and played well as Leslie takes low and away. And field back with 2 outs, neither runner being held on. 1-1 count. Knight stares back the runner at second, now faces home. He kicks and deals. 1-1 out towards right center field. McDonald back in the alleyway. He's got a beat on it, and that will end the inning. Leslie nearly had his first hit against the Rivets, but instead the side is retired. Kenosha gets another run on the RBI double from Jacob Tobias. 4-0 Kingfish through 3 here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the 4th, some work to do for the Rivets. They trail 4-0 here to the Kenosha Kingfish. 3-4-5 due up in their lineup against reliever Jacob Gehring on for inning number 2 of relief as the first pitch fastball darts inside the right-handed hitting Mebin. 0 for 1 today with a fly out to left field. Gehring's all imposing figure on the mound against a burly Mebin in the box. First pitch out of the windup. Finds the plate for strike 1, even in count. Mebin 6'3", 225 as he fouls a fastball straight back to make the count 1-2. Then you've got Gehring out of Ohio State on the mound, 6'1", 225. A lot of size in this matchup as the two heavyweights go at it. 1-2 count, nobody out here in the 4th. Rockford looking for some offense in their first hit of the game. Here's a pitch. Swung on, popped foul. Ball, 2 strikes. High overhead delivery from Gehring. The pitch. Fastball left just upstairs. Count goes even. 2-2. Swung on, golf deep toast left field. You can forget about this one. No doubt shot, Matthew Mebane. Second home run of the road trip, and it went over the property line at Simmons Field to the storage units well beyond the ivy. That got out of here quickly, and Rockford on the board in a very loud way to make it a 4-run game. Fifth home run of the season for Mebane, and another monster sound off the bat. Tried to go upstairs with the 2-2 fastball, and it wasn't far enough upstairs. There's fans out in the Fishbowl Club climbing over the fence to try to retrieve that home run ball. We'll see if one of them finds it as the first pitch is inside to Ben Brantley. First hit as well for the Rivets. They're on the board. That might have been the spark that Rockford needed in this game. Wow. This one's grounded over towards second and on the hand, so it's easy for Council to scoop up and throw to first in time to retire Brantley. Also, RBI number 27 on the season for Mebane, in addition to home run number 5. One out, nobody on for Cam McDonald. He flew out to right first time up. Here's the pitch from Gehring. Rare breaking ball over the outside edge for strike one to McDonald. 8.64 ERA this season for the man out of Ohio State. Went 0 for 3 in 9 appearances. Also had 4 starts. Can go deep into ball games. As he gets a ground ball from McDonald, charging in the third baseman Leslie. Sidearm throw up the line is in time. Nice play from Josh Leslie for out number 2. Two quick outs. What you want to see from Gehring to try and quiet down this Rockford lineup after the big home run from Mebane. There's nobody on for Dylan Robertson. I mean, Mebane was putting balls out for fun in batting practice out there towards the Fishbowl Club today. Leaned over to me before his last round of BP and told me to watch closely. Said he was just going to try to swing and put every ball out, and he put about 5 out of 6 of them over the fence in the Fishbowl Club. It's a very small left field here at Simmons Field. It's about a waist-high fencing and about 310 to 314. Either side you like until it juts out towards center field from the field level seating with the blue and red umbrellas. Robertson, a check swing and an 0-1 count. Did he go? Yes, he did. Gehring gets ahead of him 0-2. Robertson walked his first time up in the second. But Mebane pulverized that baseball. Probably would have cleared the fence in most MLB parks as the 0-2 fastball up and away. Delivery, elevated fastball to Robertson's fouled into the stands of Simmons Field. Heads up for some fans, a couple young ones. Chasing after that one in the dark green seats, it stays a 1-2 count. Rockford gets the run back here in the top of the fourth. It's a start for the Rivets trying to battle back their way into this game. 1-2, swing and a miss. Robertson goes down swinging to end the fourth. Second strikeout for Gehring. Rockford on the board via the Mebane bomb, but it stays 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the fourth here on the Rivets Baseball Network. 9-1 coming to the plate for the Kingfish. It's a 4-1 ball game. Rockford getting on the board in the last half inning, trying to claw their way back into this one, but they'll have to do it via the bullpen as Tanner Knight is chased after 3 innings in his first start as a Rockford Rivet. Makes way for Jacob Newman, the righty out of the University of Illinois at Springfield. First pitch from Newman is a fastball down low to Gage Williams, taken for 1-0. Williams grounded out. Back to the mound his first time up. It was an impressive play from Knight as it kicked off his leg. He ran over to the third base side and threw off balance over to first base to nail the runner. The next pitch is foul back, 1-1. Big opportunity here for Newman, who struggled so far this season for the Rivets, trying to bounce back. He's allowed 6 earned runs and 4 2/3, an ERA slightly over 11. 1-1. Low and away on the fastball. That's the big key for Jacob Newman's arsenal. Is getting that fastball under control. He can run it up there velocity-wise towards the mid-90s. If he can find it consistently for a strike and get outs at this level, it's just been about settling in for him. Next pitch is hit on the ground towards shortstop. Couple of high hops for Ince over the lip of the grass. He makes a clean throw to first to nail Williams. That's what you got to do. Keep it low in the zone with that fastball. Not too many guys are going to square that up. You can find a way to get some outs and get your team back in the dugout quickly. It's been better as of late for Jacob Newman. His last action came just over a week ago against Battle Creek in the front end of that day-night doubleheader, where he went an inning, did give up a run, didn't walk anybody. That was his biggest indictment there, as the walks have gotten the better of him on occasions this season. 13 walks, 6 strikeouts altogether on the campaign, but 2 scoreless frames in Traverse City before allowing that earned run to Battle Creek in the doubleheader. First pitch is bounced in for a ball to Michael Dallas, who popped out to second base his last time up. This part of the order went 1-2-3 for Kenosha in the second inning, and maybe the method behind the madness for Rockford in a situation like this is give Newman a confidence booster against a part of the order that's struggled so far. Dallas, late swing and a fastball over the outer third. It's 1-1. Dallas was retired on the first pitch, back in the second. So far this season, he's 8 for 46. Home run, 4 RBIs. Did not see a lot of action in the Battle Creek series. Just one at-bat, was a pinch hitter on Tuesday and went 0 for 1. Next pitch from Newman is outside. 2 balls and a strike. Dallas has been a hotter hitter as of late. He has hits in 5 of his last 6 starts after starting the season on an 0 for 23 stretch. Newman delivers low again with another heater, and the count goes to 3 balls and a strike. That 0 for 23 stretch included 0 for 4 against the Rivets, where he struck out twice. Only 4 at-bats this season at Kentucky, so still trying to find his best swing, but slowly but surely getting there. 3-1 pitch is grounded up to short again. A couple of high hops for Ince, who ranges over to his right on a chopper this occasion. And another 6-3 put out, 2 down quickly in the fourth. And this is a good inning so far for Jacob Newman. He's staying low in the zone, and yes, he's falling behind hitters, but he's getting the ground balls when he needs them. And he's been able to get into the strike zone when he's gotten into these 3-ball counts. That's a sign of improvement. Gonna have to be careful here to Parker Stinson, the top of the Kenosha lineup, with 2 outs. Stinson led off the game with a home run, then popped out to left field his last time up. Third time hitting in the 4th inning for the top of the Kingfish lineup. They lead 4-1. Newman a deep breath. He'll kick and deal on the mound. Fastball is at the knees for strike 1. Newman sets at the letters. High left leg kick, and the delivery is off the leg of Stinson. He's hit by the pitch. He'll reach first base with 2 outs here in the 4th. First hit by pitch for Newman. Now bring up James McCoy. Nothing hurt with a 2-out base runner. Newman still looking for his 3rd scoreless frame in his last 4. McCoy 1 for 2 so far today. Singled and scored to lead off the 3rd. And the switch hitting infielder from Kentucky out in right field tonight for the Kingfish looks to continue his hot offensive season. Hits in 5 straight starts for McCoy, who's 7 for his last 19. First pitch is over the inside corner for a called strike. Newman getting better and better locating that fastball on the corners. Newman looks back the runner at first. Couple of head nods. Runner takes off as he deals the 0-1. Pitch is swung on a miss. Throw down to second is not in time. Was really close. Ince ran over from shortstop to cover. Bit of a high throw from Baker, so Ince had to pull it down from atop his black cap, and a really good headfirst dive from Stinson into scoring position with the stolen base, his 9th so far this season. Stinson's been more fleet of foot base runner so far this summer. 9 stolen bases already. Stole only 1 all season for Indiana State. McCoy's in a 1-1 count. Pitch was taken for a ball. Here's the next pitch. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. Looks really close from up here on a high fastball delivery from Newman. It's a 2-1 count. Chance here for McCoy to pick up RBI number 16 on the season, get in on the Kingfish offense parade, and get that run back that Rockford scored in the top half of the frame. 2-1, Newman upstairs again. Tried to snap a rare breaking ball. It'll be 3-1. Some bodies up and throwing in the Rockford pen lightly. See if any are called into action here. 3-1 to Newman. Fastball foul back. There's another bear down pitch from Jacob Newman. He's gotten into some deep counts in this inning, but he's found the strike zone more often than not when he's needed to. But he's got another big payoff here on the way. Risk putting 2 in scoring position for Jacob Tobias. He's already 2 for 2 today. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Newman deals the pitch. Fastball is outside, and now the count is full. The video board said 3-2 prior to that pitch, but there must have been an offering or a pitch fouled off that was missed. That'll make it 3-2. So now the payoff comes from Newman. Here it comes, and it's a fastball well outside for ball 4. Two on, 2 outs. Newman trying to get the scoreless frame. He's going to have to get out a tough hitter to do so. Jacob Tobias continues to be locked in at the plate. 11 straight with a hit, 4 multi-hit games in that stretch. And his 6th double in the last 11 games, his last time up, of the RBI variety. Also singled and scored in the first. He's 2 for 2. The way the ball's flying tonight, see if there's an early cycle watch in the cards. Triple might be a little hard to get, but there are some deep alleyways here at Simmons Field. He scolds the first pitch deep to left center field. Crittenberger chasing back towards the wall. It's gone. Now you can start thinking triple. A home run deep to left center field for Jacob Tobias. And a 3-run shot to blow this game open. It's the 3rd home run tonight for the Kingfish. Tobias has 4 RBIs, and the Kingfish have a 7-1 lead. That'll clear the bases for Newman and end the chance for a scoreless frame as 3 cross on his tab. Still only 2 outs in the inning for Drake Westcott. 6th hit for Kenosha. 3 of them have left the yard here at Simmons Field. First pitch from Newman is low and inside to Drake Westcott, 1-0. Westcott's 0 for 1 today. He walked back in the 3rd, also flew out to left. Lefty bat against the right-handed arm of Newman. He's inside with 2 straight fastballs, falling behind 2-0. Boy, that was a shot. That shows you how far the ball is carrying here tonight. Really hard to get something out deep to left center or even center field. It juts straight back here at Simmons Field and plays very deep, swallows up baseballs, but Tobias tattooed that ball to get it out to one of the deepest parts of the park. Westcott late on the swing and a 2-0 count, so now it's 2-1. Jonathan Hanscom now up getting loose for the Rivets. 2 balls, 1 strike. Deep breath from Newman, the pitch. Fastball hit on the ground towards first. High hop for Mebin, who will walk it to the bag himself. That'll end the inning, but not before the Kingfish add on 3 more runs. Jacob Tobias, 3 for 3, 4 RBIs, and a nuclear shot to center field. 7-1 Kingfish as we head to the 5th here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the 5th inning here in Kenosha at Simmons Field. There's been a lot for this crowd to cheer about tonight as they continue to urge on the ribbon dancers in the on-field entertainment here at Simmons Field. 7-1 Kingfish. A 3-run homer from Jacob Tobias in the last half frame really blew this game open for Kenosha as they try to get some separation in a log-jammed Great Lakes East Division. The Kingfish are just a half a game behind Kalamazoo, who are sitting top dog in the Great Lakes East right now. 2 big games here for the Rivets and the Kingfish. Rockford's just a game and a half back, but it's looking like that traffic's headed only one way right now unless the Rivets can seriously rally. They do have a chance to split at home tomorrow, but some work to do in this one. First pitch, swing and a miss from Drew Baker. It's 7-8-9 due up in the Rockford order against Jacob Gehring, who stays on the bump. Gehring high over the top delivery in the pitch. 2 innings of relief for him has allowed just the earned run on the 1 hit, the Mebin solo shot in the last half inning. Baker in a 1-1 count. He walked his first time up in the 2nd. Next pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Next pitch from Gehring, hit on the ground towards third base. It's a high chopper for Leslie, who brings it down, throws across the diamond in time to retire Baker for the first out of the 5th. 1 down. That'll bring up Colton Klein. Hanscom still getting loose out in the Rivets bullpen. Rockford needs somebody to give him some length in this one. Newman probably can't go too much more than an inning. Still at least 4 more ups for Kenosha in this one, and if you're Rockford, just looking potentially to save your bullpen, play the long game. First pitch to Klein, the left-handed hitting outfielder. It's a changeup over the outside edge for strike 1. Gehring's had really good control of his entire arsenal so far today. The cut fastball, curveball, slider. Rare changeup from him there, but is facing a lefty bat. 0-1 to Klein, swing and a miss for strike 2. Klein is familiar with the scenery here at Simmons Field, plays for the men's league team that calls Simmons Field home, the Kenosha Kings. No balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. The pitch decline. Tomahawked foul off to the third base side. It'll stay at 0-2. Of course, Carthage is D3 institution, just about 10 minutes away from here, where Klein played his college ball, both baseball and football. Was the quarterback for the Carthage Red. 0-2, hit on the ground left side. Tobias down to a knee, snares it in between his legs, flips to the bag, where Gehring gets over to cover. 3-1 on the putout. Klein retired for the second out of the fifth. Two outs, nobody on for the 9-hole man, Jeffrey Ince. First pitch from Gehring is down in the zone for ball 1. Long journey for the right-handed arm out of Ohio State to the mound here in Kenosha. Got some regular action this season for the Buckeyes. We talked about his stats last time out, but was not able to compete in the 2021 spring season for Ohio State as Ince fouls a ball back and makes the count 1-1. Was not able to compete in 2021. He was recovering from Tommy John surgery. Did throw a perfect game in high school, had a 16-2 record for South Range, where he grew up back in Canfield, Ohio. 1-1 off speed, poked on the right side, charging in the second baseman Council. His throw off balance, his momentum taking him away from the first base bag, but he's still able to nab Ince by half a step and end the inning. Another 1-2-3 frame, been really 3 good innings of relief for Jacob Gehring, minus the Mebane homer. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. 7-1 Kenosha will head to the bottom of the 5th here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 5th from Simmons Field. Third Rivets arm of the night is Jonathan Hanscom out of the bullpen. The arm from Division II Lewis University. The righty on the bump coming out of relief here for Rockford. Rivets trailing 7-1. Just looking for some outs to get across the line here against Kenosha. Maybe try to battle their way back into this one. First pitch from Hanscom. Strike over the outer third to Brady Council. Council's 1 for 2 today. Of course, the 2-run homer his first time up. Also flown out very sharply to center field. So he's hit the ball really well 2 times. This one, a little more weaker contact. Ground ball out to Mebane. It kicks off the edge of his glove. Took a tough hop right in front of him in the infield dirt over toward the second base bag on the ricochet. So Council reaches. It'll be scored as an infield hit for Council. So he's 2 for 3 today. It'll be the 7th hit for the Kingfish in the ball game. That brings up Nick Iannatone. For Hanscom on the season, this is appearance number 5. He's 0-1 so far with a 4.35 ERA. That's 5 earned runs and 10 1/3. Walking 8, striking out 5. Last went an inning scoreless on Monday in Wisconsin Rapids. This is his second action of the 5-game road trip. 2 earned runs in 5 innings since joining the bullpen for the Rivets after his once starting Kalamazoo. First pitch flared foul by Iannatone. 2 walks today for the left-handed hitting outfielder committed to play at East Tennessee State. Journey certainly not linear for Iannatone, who spent this season at Johnson County Community College. 0-1 count here with nobody out. Hanscom peers in. Now deals sidearm delivery is chopped foul. Third base side over the stands and towards the parking lot here at Simmons Field. It's quickly 0-2. Iannatone played in Johnson County in 2020 and 2021. Put up really good numbers. Hit well north of 400 both campaigns. And they committed to join USC Upstate in November of 2020. That's South Carolina Upstate. The 0-2 pitch is tapped on the ground towards first. IHOP for Mebane. Steps on the bag for 1. Throw to second. The tag's not in time. Really sharp play from Mebane, but his throw to in's just a hair late. Council's fleet of foot. So he will make it. The fielder's choice. 3 unassisted. Knocks off Iannatone. 1 down in the 5th. But Iannatone committed to go to USC Upstate and then pulled out for personal reasons after committing there in November 2020. And then came back for 1 more season at Johnson this year. And then found his way to another Division I path with East Tennessee State. He's retired for the first out of the frame. There's another guy that's grinded his way to the Division I level, Josh Leslie. 0 for 2 today with a fly ball to right field and a strikeout. First pitch from Hanscom's well low and away. Good backhand pick from Baker, and the count's 1-0. Leslie played 3 seasons at Mesa Community College, where he totaled a 382 average and a 440 on-base percentage over that time. Was first team all-region his last season at Mesa before committing to McNeese State. 1-0. Hanscom upstairs. It's off the glove of Baker. Ricochets to his right. Was a big jump from Council, but he's going to stay put over at second base. So 2-0 now to Leslie. Hitters count here to Leslie, looking for his first base knock of the day. Trying to reach in 6 of 7 for the Kingfish after a slow start for the hometown product. Hanscom's low and away. He'll have to battle back from 3-0 down. Rio is on the outside edge for strike 1. Hanscom trying to reel it back in with 1 out here in the 5th. Still 7-1 Kingfish. Kenosha, 3 home runs on the evening. They've hit a home run, a 2-run shot, and a 3-run shot. They're on the cycle watch in more ways than one. 3-1's outside for ball 4, so 2 aboard now with 1 out in the 5th. It's the 4th walk for Rivets pitching. First one on the tab at Hanscom. The way the ball's been flying tonight, not sure which is more likely for the Kingfish. Whether we see a Jacob Tobias triple. I mean, Tobias isn't necessarily the most fleet-of-foot base runner for Kenosha. He's 6'1", 230, so he's going to have to unhook the trailer anywhere if he wants to get a triple. Or you're going to see the home run cycle with a grand slam. Remains to be seen. First pitch to Gage Williams is low and away for ball 1. This has been the part of the Rivets bullpen that's really struggled this season. A really strong pitching staff, all things considered, but some of the arms in the very back end that don't get the most work have struggled to hit the zone consistently, and it's allowed games like this to get really ugly for them at times. 1-0. Outside corner, strike 1 to Williams. Hanscom did get a spot start early on in his tenure with the Rivets, but has been more effective as a reliever this season for Lewis University, or at least somebody that's used in short volume. He comes set, slightly bent at the knees, now fires home. This one swung on and popped up from Williams. Shallow center field, the center fielder Krittenberger takes charge, jogging in to make the catch for out number 2. 2 down for the 9-hole man, Michael Dallas, here in the 5th. But for Anscombe, he had 4 outings of 5 earned runs or more this season at Lewis University, 6 outings of 2 earned runs or fewer. So it was more of a mixed bag. All of his outings of no runs allowed, which were 3 of them, were 2 1/3 or fewer. So he tends to wane a little bit as he goes on in games. Nothing wrong with that, but typically in a short volume can be very effective. He's trying to keep the Kingfish off the board here in the 5th. Just has to retire the 9-hole man. Dallas, who's 0 for 2 today. Big swing and a miss at a Hanscom slider for strike 1. 3 in the first, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth for Kenosha. They've built this 7-1 cushion. Hanscom kicks and deals, sidearm fastball. The two-seamer runs just off the plate. One ball, 1 strike the count. Hanscom looks back the runner at second, neither being held on with the infield back. This is a ground ball to second. Harding gets down on it, pinched up the middle. He'll throw to first in time to retire Dallas. He's 0 for 3 today. Hanscom keeps Kenosha off the board despite a hit in the 5th. 7-1 Kingfish will head to the 6th after this. Here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the 6th inning here from Simmons Field. 7-1 Kingfish. Top of the Rockford lineup coming to the dish. Starts with leadoff man Ty Crittenberger. Rivets looking for an offensive jolt. Trying to get back into this one. They trail by 6 in a crucial game in the standings as Crittenberger sends one deep in the hole to shortstop. Diving backhand stop from Dallas. His throw slightly up the line and late. An infield single for Crittenberger, the second Rivets hit of the ball game. Only second hit allowed by Jacob Gehring, who's been stellar in his 3 innings of relief. This is third time through the order for the Rivets, and they're hoping for some kind of offensive spark to get back into this one. They trail by 6, 7-1. Harding will come into the lefty box. The 2-hole hitter for the Rivets from the left side is 0 for 2 today with 2 groundouts. Crittenberger is second in the league with 12 stolen bases. He gets caught leaning towards second. It was a good pickoff attempt from Gehring, but slightly in the ground. Tobias had to scoop it on the short hop, and that allowed Crittenberger to get back safely with the headfirst dive. See if Crittenberger is aggressive here in a 6-run game. Gehring looks back again. And another headfirst dive back from Crittenberger. The results around the Great Lakes East won't look favorably for Rockford right now based on the scoreline of this game as well. Traverse City leading in Kokomo in the top of the 9, 6-3. We'll take a look on the other scores here after the first pitch to Harding. It kicks off the leg pad of Williams out to the left. Crittenberger will jog into second base. So he's in a scoring position with nobody out. Meanwhile, at Homer Striker Field, Kalamazoo leads Fond du Lac 5-2 in the seventh. That'd be a big win for the Growlers to stay red hot. They've won 8 of 9. And they would keep their first place lead in the Great Lakes East from these Kingfish, regardless of what happens here. Then at the Duck Pond in Madison, the Battle Creek Battlejacks lead the Mallards 6-4 in the bottom of the fourth. Hurting up 1-0 in the count, long pause before he steps back into the lefty box, scaring in his fourth inning of relief of starter Blake Pivaroff, who went 2 scoreless. Here's the 1-0. Fastball swung on, popped up. Towering shot on the right side of the infield. First baseman Tobias comes into the infield grass a couple steps over to his right, off the line, makes the catch for out number 1. So Tobias struggled with the sun a little earlier, but it is almost completely set here at Simmons Field, so sunglasses are on the head and not having too much trouble fielding that one. Harding retired for the third time tonight. So right now, everybody in the Great Lakes East leading their respective contests, except for Kokomo, who's the only team behind Rockford as currently stands other than Traverse City right now. Rivets will be 2.5 back if the current results hold going into tomorrow's home game against the Kingfish. First pitch, slider down and away to Mebane. It's 1-0. I'll be shocked if Mebane sees anything over the heart of the plate in this AB. Absolutely crushed a solo shot to the storage units beyond the property line in left center at Simmons Field his last time up. I mean, this was a tape measure shot. They're staying away from him right now. That pitch leaked over the heart of the plate a little bit. Mebane was a little late with the swing. It was a backup breaking ball, and the count's 1-1. Spins the bat head a couple of times before it comes to rest on his right shoulder, crowding the plate from the right side, hands clasped close to his graphite jersey. Gehring set at the belt, deep breath before the pitch. It's down low in the dirt. Mebane takes for 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike now to Matthew Mebane. Here's the pitch. Fastball upstairs, 3-1. It's a 7-1 game, so you're pitching to be in the zone here if you're the Kingfish, just trying to get outs. But given that Mebane's the only one that's really hurt you in this lineup today, wonder if they just give him something to chase here on a 3-1 count. Might not get anything too good in a hitter's count. He does get something in a hitter's count. It's deep to left field towards the wall. It one-hops off the short wall and barrels its way out towards center field. Krittenberger jogs home to score. It's an RBI double for Matthew Mebane, his second RBI of the night, his second extra base hit of the night, and it's 7-2. So they elect not to pitch away from Mebane, and he makes them pay. That hand looks just fine. It is almost fully healed, and Matthew Mebane is back to his extra base power. 28 RBIs on the season. He's standing out at second base with 1 down in the 6th. Still a long way back for the Rivets, but it's got to feel good with Matthew Mebane now, starting to get back into the swing of things offensively. Had become more of a singles hitter after the limitations from that hit by pitch on the hand, but it is healed. He's gone back to his approach, and he is driving the baseball with a lot more regularity. Had his first extra base hit in 9 games in Wisconsin Rapids with that double. Since then, 3 more in his last 3 games. That's 4 extra base hits in 4 games for Mebane since breaking that streak of 9 games without. So that's certainly more comforting for the depth of this Rockford lineup in general, regardless of how tonight ends up. But he's at second base for Ben Brantley, who takes high for ball 1. This is the 4th inning of work for Gehring, a guy that didn't work in too much volume at Ohio State this season after starting a handful of games and didn't pitch in 2021. So maybe you start to be a little more careful here, start to exhaust some other options in your bullpen if you're Kenosha. 1-0. Brantley smokes one down the right field line. It's foul as it hops into the second row of stands. He got around on that one with some loud contact for strike 1. It's 1-1 the count. And these are important at-bats for the Rivets, regardless of if they wind up losing this baseball game or not, because you force the Kingfish to go deeper into their bullpen. You get them again tomorrow at home. You can exhaust some of their arms potentially if you make this a game. And that's important. I mean, you look at how close this division is, and there's only 12 games left in the first half. Every little advantage you can get will be paramount. As they'll spin back towards second base. Mebane was cheating off the bag. He slides in feet first safely. Could have been a little dangerous there with Dallas creeping back door. Thankfully, both sides are okay. Mebane went with the spikes up towards Dallas, but eluded him as Dallas had to crouch down over the bag to receive the throw. That could have been a little nasty there, but thankfully, no harm, no foul. 1-1, breaking ball swung on and missed as Brantley comes up empty on the changeup. 1-2 the count. Seven-two game, Rockford with one back in the sixth. 1-2 pitch on the way to Brantley, hanging breaking ball, looped out towards shallow right field, coming in and making the catch is McCoy. Mebane never stopped running. He came the whole way around to score. So the catcher, Williams, is just going to walk it out to second base and step on the bag to end the inning. He's actually going to float it over to Counsell, who was stepping on the bag. That'll end the inning. That was a shallow flare from Ben Brantley. And I don't think Matthew Mebane thought that James McCoy was going to be playing that shallow in right field. I mean, he was playing super shallow against a lefty pull hitter. That ball normally gets down and is an RBI single, but instead, Mebane just never stopped running, and they double him off at second base. So the side is retired on a double play ball. Very unconventional at that. Rockford does get a run back on the RBI double from Mebane. 7-2, heading to the bottom of the sixth here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the sixth here from Simmons Field. Kingfish lead the Rivets by 5, 7-2. They'll send the top of their lineup fourth time through against Jonathan Hanscom, the third arm of the night for the Rivets in his second inning of relief. Seeing some handshakes down the left field line in the Kingfish bullpen, Jacob Gehring made his way out there. The freshman out of Ohio State seems to be done after 4 really effective innings of relief. Starter Blake Pivaroff not fully stretched out yet from Arizona State, so he's only able to go 2 scoreless frames. And then Gehring only allows 3 hits and 2 earned runs in his 4 frames of work, which is something you'll certainly take if you're Kenosha, given the 7 runs of insurance you granted your team. Here's Stinson. He's 1 for 2 today with a hit by pitch. Has to duck out of the way of the next one as he squared around and showed bunt. It's inside for ball 1. Stinson had a leadoff home run to start the game in the bottom half of the first. Then popped out to left field in the second before being hit by a pitch, stealing a bag and scoring in the fourth. Called strike over the outer third from Hanscom, evens the count at 1-1. Anomaly continues for Parker Stinson, who's been hit by a pitch now 7 times this season in just over 20 games. Hanscom squared off to the third base side, fires in the 1-1 and hits him again. Right on cue, it's his second hit by pitch of the game, his 8th on the season, and it's the 5th time that Parker Stinson's been hit by a pitch in the last 6 games. Ball magnet for the Kingfish leadoff man. First hit by pitch for Hanscom, second tonight from Rivets pitchers, and he's aboard to start the 6th. Some stories just write themselves. That'll bring up the 2-hole man, James McCoy. 1 for 2 today, scored 2 runs, walked and singled. Switch hitter from the left side. He's seen all righties tonight. First the starter, Knight, then the first reliever, Newman, before seeing Hanscom now. We'll check on the runner at first, who's back with the head first dive, and Stinson. Middle infield set to turn 2. Rockford trying to get out of the frame here. First pitch to McCoy is way outside from Hanscom for ball 1. Really just hoping here, if you're the Rivets, you can get Hanscom to get you through maybe at least 2 more ups, and then you only have to throw 1 more arm in the bottom of the 8th should the score stay lopsided like it is. I mean, if you're the Rivets here, you're just trying to save arms for what could be potentially a much closer game tomorrow. Again, trying to win every game is crucial in a tight division towards the end of the first half, starting to get towards crunch time with just 12 games left. 2-0 now to McCoy. Kentucky product hitting north of 300 on the season. Next pitch is up and away, 3-0. Of course, McCoy knows something about postseason success in summer ball. Played in the Valley League last summer for the Strasburg Express. They were the champions of the Valley League. Had a .385 on-base percentage in just under 30 games. Also 3 home runs. Plenty of pop. He'll take the 3-0 down the chute from Hanscom as he breaks the off-speed in for strike 1. McCoy set 5 hits this season in just his 3rd game against the Rivets. 3 balls and a strike. Hanscom, long pause, runner takes off, and he hits McCoy in the back. The fastball that gets inside. Hanscom struggling to find the zone here. It's back-to-back hit by pitches in the 6th. And that not something you want to see under any pretenses, but especially when you're just looking for somebody to get in the strike zone. Tyler Fletcher will come out with a mound visit. Got to think he's talking about Hanscom squaring off to hitters a little bit more. Cross-body delivery from the right side is causing it to go in on lefties, and just a little too much whip on the arm. And it's causing him to overcorrect on occasions, and he's gotten inside and hit 2 batters in this inning. Got to be careful here with Tobias. Triple shy of a cycle. He had a 3-run homer his last time up in the 4th. 4 RBIs tonight. Extended his hitting streak to 11 games in a big way in this one. This is his first game with 3 hits this season. Now, 4 home runs, 17 runs batted in for Tobias. Freshman standout at Arizona State that has announced himself really well for Kenosha this summer. Mound visit concludes. Fletcher back standing outside of the Rockford dugout. Now heading back down to the Rivets bullpen where action is slowly starting to pick up. First pitch, Hanscom will stay in to face Tobias. Looking back the runner at second, now deals. Fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. For Tobias in the 11-game hitting streak, he has 4 multi-hit games, 6 doubles, 4 home runs, and 17 runs batted in. All 17 of his RBIs have come on this hitting streak. 0-1, he'll call for time before Hanscom comes home. Only had a 4-hit game once in his freshman season with the Sun Devils. He went 4 for 5 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs on May 8th against Utah. Could do one better than that here. 0-1. He'll throw it back towards second base. Well, Hanscom and Ince wasn't over there to cover. There was nobody covering second base. So the throw just goes straight into the outfield, and both runners advance. So it's an error on Hanscom. Bit of a lapse in judgment there. He's trying to spin back and make the throw over to second. Fletcher's back from the bullpen. Looks like Kent Evans currently getting up and throwing for Rockford. No balls and a strike. Hanscom set at the belt. Deals, and it's called strike 2 over the outside edge. He's pitched Tobias perfectly through these first 2 pitches. Has seemingly been the needle in the haystack so far in what's been a nightmarish inning for Hanscom. But he's 1 pitch away from getting Tobias out for the first time tonight. Triple side of the cycle for the Kenosha 3-hitter. He's got 2 in scoring position in a 7-2 game with nobody out in the 6th. 0-2's popped up. Shallow left field. The shortstop Ince is out there. He makes the catch. Shallow. So no runners tag, and Tobias finally retired tonight for out number 1. So 2 in scoring position with 1 out for Drake Westcott, DH. Batting cleanup tonight for the Kingfish. 0 for 2 with a walk. First pitch to Westcott, skewed foul over towards the Kingfish dugout. Really late swing from the lefty bat for strike 1. Of course, Westcott was somebody that did get some calls from some MLB teams. The redshirt freshman that didn't play this year at Louisville, or rather had some limited action this season at Louisville, I should say. Went 3 for 19 in his limited action, but did get some day 2 calls from MLB teams. Still honored his commitment to Louisville that he made back in his freshman season of high school. Shakes inside, the count's even at 1-1. He got some round 4 to 5 value in the shortened draft structure last season, but the numbers that teams offered him on the phone calls were lower than what he was looking for, and that's why he elected to go the college route. Hanscom snaps in a breaking ball, and the count's 1-2 to Westcott. Westcott, who played in the NECBL last summer. Getting some college ball experience before heading to Louisville this season. 1-2's poked out towards center field. That ball is carrying a lot into the alleyway. Krittenberger's back. He makes the catch on the edge of the track. That's going to allow both runners to tag in advance. So Stinson scores, McCoy up to third. It's an RBI sac fly for Drake Westcott. That ball is flying out to left field tonight. His first RBI of the night. It's 8-2 Kingfish in the 6th. It was a good piece of opposite field hitting with 2 strikes for Westcott, but boy, that did not hit very much of the barrel, and that carried all the way out to the warning track in left center field. So runner at third with 2 outs. The batter will be Brady Council. First pitch to him. Fastball down the chute for a called strike. Of course, for Westcott, he's got a sibling also. Jay Westcott that plays in the NBA G League. As Council sends a high pop up to right field, that instance about Jay may be relevant with the NBA draft currently ongoing right now for all you basketball fans. Hope you're enjoying that. Hope you're enjoying us here in Kenosha. Kingfish get a run back here in the bottom of the 6th. They take an 8-2 lead as we head to the 7th here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Kingfish back into their bullpen here for the top of the 7th inning. Rockford trails 8-2 to the Kingfish, and it's Will Baker, southpaw out of Jacksonville State, the third Kingfish arm of the night. This is the 6th appearance of the season for Baker. He's 1-0 so far with a 5.02 ERA and 14 1/3. He's allowed 8 earned runs on 10 hits, walking 8 and striking out 14. Played this past season for Coastal Alabama, Bay Minette. From Mount Olive, the sophomore at 5'11", 175. Last pitch, 2 innings against Kalamazoo back on June 20th, just 3 days ago. He allowed 3 earned runs. He's allowed 3 earned runs in his last 2 outings. So this is a rare opportunity here for him to try to settle things down. He's got 6 runs of cushion to play with, but still a dangerous Rockford lineup that can try to put a shock into this one. McDonald, Robertson, Drew Baker, your scheduled hitters. No relation there between the arm and the catcher. 5, 6, 7 scheduled to hit for Rockford here in the frame. McDonald today's 0 for 2, fly out and ground out. He takes low and away for ball 1. Baker set at the belt. He squared off towards the first base side of the mound. Angled his left shoulder away from the hitter towards the righty box. Here's the 1-0. Cross-body delivery, ground ball up the middle. Takes a favorable hop for the shortstop. Dallas. His throw to first in time from around the second base bag to nab McDonald. So 1 down here in the 7th. Rockford trailing by 6. They'll send Dylan Robertson to the dish. Robertson today is 0 for 1. He struck out and walked. Has reached now in 17 of his 19 games in the Northwoods League. First pitch to Robertson. That's the first sign of the breaking ball. It's just off the plate. He has a very slow, methodical windup. I mentioned that the right shoulder is pointed towards the right-handed batter's box with the way he squared off. He then turns, pauses before he gets the leg kick in the delivery. And there's about a second pause where he slots his right foot behind his left foot. It can really throw off the timing of hitters. A head nod from Robertson as Baker fires in strike 1 on the fastball to even the count. I mean, if you've got an Odubel Herrera leg kick in that lefty box, you're probably having trouble timing up Baker here. Slow pause in the delivery, 1-1. Robertson's having enough trouble as he sends a pitch foul into the plate. It's 1-2. Robertson, good hitter traditionally against Kenosha, was 5 for 15 against the Kingfish last season. Looking for his first hit here. 1-2, check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. He'll stay in the box at 2-2. Robertson, methodical of his own. He rocks side to side in the lefty batter's box, slightly bent at the knees in an open stance. Here's a 2-2. It's launched out to center field. Racing over Stinson. He makes a running catch in the alleyway. Rushing towards right field. Really good catch to rob Robertson of extra bases. Good closing speed from Stinson, 2 down in the 7th. Rare barrel from Rockford in this game, but it's just one of them nights. All going for Kenosha as Drew Baker steps in to face Will Baker here. Battle of the Bakers, righty in the box against the lefty on the mound. Drew today is 0 for 1 with a walk. Slow pause and the first cross-body delivery, fastball over the outside edge for strike 1. If there was any reason to be more excited about this matchup other than sharing the last name, Drew Baker is the beer batter here at Simmons Field, has yet to strike out tonight. 0-1. Swung on, popped foul. It's 0-2. There's not a ton of velocity from Will Baker on the mound. He's going to have to drop in that off speed that has a lot of late life to strike out Drew on this occasion. Not a big strikeout arm, but certainly capable heading the count 0-2. This Kenosha bullpen looking for another scoreless frame. It's 5th of the night. Baker peers in, holds his glove out from the letters on his jersey. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's inside for a ball. One balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on. 2 outs here in the 7th. 8-2 Kingfish, the pitch. Fastball outside. The count's even. Baker's trying to snap that 0 for 14 stretch. Has walked in each of his last 2 games, but looking for that first hit since his second game in a Rivets uniform. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuce is wild. Here's the pitch. On the outside edge, it's just off the plate. Cream Kingfish jerseys were about 3 steps towards the dugout, but the count will ride full. Good location with a fastball there from Will Baker. He's going to have to deal the payoff to the man that shares his last name. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Slow rocking the pitch. Fastball flared out towards right field. It's a broken bat bloop single into shallow right. Drew Baker breaks his 0 for 14 spell and reaches here in the 7th. Bat dies a hero as well, right off the end of the bat. Snapped off the underside of it, went flaring out towards the mound, but Baker will reach first base for Colton Klein. Klein's 0 for 2 today, a fly out and a ground out. It's a lefty on lefty matchup. Baker on the hill, Baker over at first. First pitch, slide step. Now that he's not working out of the windup anymore. Will Baker talked about the methodical delivery out of the windup. Much more simplistic out of the stretch as Klein takes low for ball 1. See the arms over there in the Rockford bullpen. Saw Ken Evans up and throwing earlier. We'll see if he enters in the next half inning. Hanscom got out of that second frame of work relatively quickly after falling into trouble, so we'll see what kind of urgency they're waiting for to make the pitching change. Evans currently sitting over in that Rivets pen. 1 ball, no strikes to Klein. Baker taking a lot of time here in between pitches. Now the slide step. It's down low, 2-0. Deep breath from Colton Klein before stepping back into the lefty box. 2-0 count. We'll check over at the runner at first. 8-2 ball game here in the top of the 7th. It's been a slow burn here in the top of the 7th inning with Will Baker on the mound, not working with the tenacity of some of those earlier Kingfish arms. 4 innings of effective relief for Jacob Gehring as Klein takes strike 1 over the outside edge. 2-1 the count. Gehring went 4 innings, allowing just 2 runs across for the Rivets after Blake Pivaroff started off the game with 2 scoreless frames, the right-hander out of Arizona State. It's been all about the Sun Devils in this one. Got Jacob Tobias over holding on the runner on first base. He's 3 for 4 today, a triple shy of the cycle, 4 RBIs. Klein hits a slow tapper in front of the mound. Baker off with it with the bare hand. His throw to first is in time. Klein retired, and so is the side here in the 7th. 8-2 Kenosha will step aside as we stretch at Simmons Field here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Seventh inning stretch has concluded here at Simmons Field. Still 8-2 Kingfish over the Rivets. Fourth Rockford arm of the night is Kent Evans Jr., the righty from Rockford University on the mound. He'll face Iannatone, Leslie, and Williams, scheduled hitters 6, 7, 8 in the Kenosha lineup. Evans so far this season, 2.57 ERA. Pitched 3 1/3 the morning game against Battle Creek in that day-night doubleheader with the Battle Jacks. First action since then, first action of this road trip. Iannatone today is 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Righty on lefty matchup. Evans way outside with the fastball, starting him off. Fastball, curveball, changeup, slider mix from Evans. It's been a mixed bag in his 2 starts in a Rivets uniform. As he fires in a strike, rather fastball low for a ball. Must have just been below the knees to Iannatone. Was heavy fastball in his first start in Kokomo, used it 62% of the time, but then actually used the breaking ball a little more often against the Battle Jacks in that outing. Fastball is fouled back from Iannatone, 2-1 the count. Talked to Evans a little bit about that and how he was pitching backwards in his 3 1/3 against the Battle Jacks, and he was talking about what he noticed from this Battle Creek lineup watching the first 2 games of the series. And how he noticed they were a lot more susceptible to hitting breaking balls than they were to hitting fastballs. So Evans wanted to give them those breaking balls early on in counts, try to keep the hitters off balance. And it worked for the most part. Only allowed 1 run in his 3 1/3, but said that his leash was rather short in that game because of the conditions. Again, real feel and heat index during that Battle Creek series was north of 100, so Rockford trying to be careful with his pitchers. Here's a ground ball to second on 2 hops for Harding. His throw to first in time. Iannatone retired for the first out of the 7th. But always want to try to be careful in that instance with arms, especially in a collegiate summer league, especially with heat in the condition that it was in. Evans had thrown a lot of pitches because a lot of deep counts to that Battle Creek team that was really tough to retire. So he had a short start and thus is ready to go on the quick turnaround here in Kenosha. Here's Leslie in the righty box, so a pitch goes behind him, clips his jersey for the hit by pitch. Evans had been missing with the arm side run on that fastball to Iannatone as well, so no intention there, but it is the 4th hit by pitch from a Rivets arm. Has certainly gotten a lot away from them a lot tonight. 1 out base runner for Gage Williams. See if Leslie's in motion. He's leading off first base, being held on by Mebane. Infield a double play depth. First pitch popped up from Williams. Playable for the first baseman, Mebane, who catches it a couple steps off the bag for out number 2. 2 down in the frame. Of course, Williams, only 4 hit by pitches this season as he heads back into the dugout. He was hit 36 times during his high school career. This is a Kenosha team that crowds the plate a lot. Certainly, Rockford has let some get away from them tonight. But Gage Williams, no stranger to being hit by a pitch as well. He's retired on 1 pitch for Michael Dallas. 2 outs, 1 man on for Dallas. 6-run Kingfish lead. He's 0 for 3 tonight in the 9-hole. Trying to keep his streak going as hits in 5 of 6 starts. This one's grounded underneath the glove of Harding into center field for a base hit. Runner takes off towards third, and Leslie, the throw's up the line. It kicks away from Robertson, but able to keep it out of harm's way as Evans backing up. That pitch could have easily gotten away for an extra base. There's your hit for Dallas to extend his hot spell. Now hits in 6 of 7 starts as it snuck underneath the glove of a diving Harding. Leslie's up the third, and they're on the corners for the top of the lineup with 2 outs in the 7th. Fifth time through the lineup, Parker Stinson settling into the lefty box. He scored 3 runs tonight, has been hit by a pitch twice, and also a solo home run to start the game in the bottom of the first. First pitch from Evans. Fastball grounded over towards shortstop. They'll go the short way to second. 6-4 from Ince to Harding, and that will retire the side. Kingfish unable to plate another run as they threaten here in the 7th, but Ken Evans puts up a scoreless inning of work. 8-2 Kingfish. We'll head to the 8th after this on the Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the 8th inning, 9-1-2 due up for the Rivets. They have 2 more ups to try to make this one interesting. They trail 8-2 to the Kingfish as Will Baker stays on the hill for a second inning of relief. He'll turn around the switch hitting shortstop Jeff Ince, who's 0 for 2 tonight. First at bat from the right side against the lefty Baker. Fires a first pitch fastball in for strike 1. Next pitch on the way, swung on, popped up. Shallow right field, and a diving catch from James McCoy. Came rushing in from shallow right field, up the line for the catch. Ince retired. He's now 0 for his last 18. He cannot buy a base hit right now. And there's one away in the 8th. What a catch from McCoy. Was talking to Ince a little bit more today about some of those line shots he's had that have found the webbing of the glove. And I was like, man, you can't buy a hit right now in this current cold spell. Said he wasn't as worried about the numbers as he was about hitting the baseball hard. He's trying to keep his head up during this cold slump, but when plays like that happen, that are made against you, it's hard to, especially on nights like tonight. First pitch to Quittenberger, a called strike 1. He's 1 for 3 today with a single. One of just 3 hits for the Rivets in this game. Next pitch to him, hit hard on the left side of the infield, sneaks underneath the glove of both Leslie and Dallas into left field. That'll be a single for Krittenberger, who's aboard with 1 out in the 8th. So 2 for 4 day for Ty, trying to get right offensively. We'll peak that average up and bring up Brody Harding. 5th hit for Rockford. Harding is 0 for 3 today. Last chance potentially to expand his hitting streak to 7 games. Middle infield set to turn 2 for the Kingfish. Leslie at third is even with the bag off the line. Tobias holds on the runner. Lefty on the bump. We'll see how aggressive Krittenberger gets. First pitch to Harding. Cuts across the zone for strike 1. Got some defensive changes for the Kingfish as well. Jake Fernando, the Arkansas product, is out there in left field, replacing Iannatone, who's out of the game. 0-1 count, slide step in the delivery outside, evens the count to Harding. So after a check on the runner, still 1-1 to Harding. Pitch is inside, 2-1 now. I'll check on the runner again. Krittenberger not very far off the bag. Is just walking back to the first base bag, not even offering a dive. But Baker still trying to keep him honest here in a 6-run ball game. Runner does take off. Pitches a breaking ball inside. Throw down to second base is not in time. Was really close. Michael Dallas actually pointed back to the catcher, Gage Williams, signaling good throw down to the bag, thinking he had Krittenberger as good as nabbed. But Ty Krittenberger has been an expert with his slide towards the back of the base, and he's stolen a number of stolen bases on occasions like this, as he manages to slide in safely with his 13th stolen base of the summer. So a really good slide from Krittenberger, actually jarred the second base bag from the playing surface at Simmons Field. So they'll try to reconfigure that. As the umpiring crew goes to make that change. Sean McSheffrey came out of the dugout for Kenosha, wanting the three-man crew to deliberate this decision. We'll see what happens here. The crew chief is going to rush over and give McSheffrey a moment of his time to talk about this one. I mean, the ball beat Krittenberger to the bag, but we've seen this elusive slide from Krittenberger multiple times, able to sneak into the back of the bag. And that's usually the biggest problem with middle infielders at this level, trying to tag out runners stealing bases. They point their glove when they get the ball early to the front of the bag, when really you got to be doing it to the back of the bag where runners are inclined to slide into. And I think that's a conversation being had now between this umpiring crew with McSheffrey. As he heads back to the dugout, it's going to stay as a stolen base for Krittenberger. It's number 13 of the season. Pitch, meanwhile, all those minutes ago was a ball to Brody Harding, so it's a 2-1 count. It's one down here in the 8th. 8-2, Kingfish lead the Rivets. Here's a slide step into delivery. Harding, ground ball. Looks like it cut off his leg. It was foul, regardless, first base side, but a bit of a jump step from Harding. Might have fouled that one off his foot. Count will stay at 2-2. Two here to Harding. One down in the frame. Baker, deep breath, stares back the runner at second. Now the pitch. Swung on, fouled off from Harding again. Never an easy out, even a situation like this. On base percentage of well over 400, approaching the 500 mark again. On base percentage of almost 400 in Illinois. You don't get to that point unless you don't take any at-bats off. And Brody Harding, somebody is continuing the battle here. He's choked up on the bat now with 2 strikes and 1 out here in the 8th. Next pitch from Baker. Swung on, grounded up the middle. It will get through into center field for a base hit. Krittenberger gets the wave around. The throw will go in. It's cut off by the pitcher. Throw back into second base. Not in time. So Bias, the first baseman, cut off the throw, went to second. Harding slid in head first, was ruled safe as Krittenberger comes home to score. It's an RBI single for Harding to extend his hitting streak to 6 games. RBI number 10 on the season, and it's an 8-3 game. Sean McSheffrey's out there again. This has been two very close plays. If a runner can sneak in there once to the back of the bag, then potentially you can see that happen. But second time from Harding was really close. McSheffrey's actually not there to talk to the umpires at all. He's going to make a pitching change. Rockford's within 5, and they've gotten Will Baker out of the game. We're going to step aside here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Things starting to get interesting here at Simmons Field. It's the top of the 8th inning. Kenosha leads Rockford 8-3. The Rivets get a run back to make it a 5-run game, and now there's a runner in scoring position with Matthew Mebin coming to the dish. Kenosha, feeling a little uneasy, is set to make a pitching change here. They're going to bring in Drew Pfeiffer to face Mebin. Pfeiffer, somebody that has seen the Rivets already this season, has had himself a pretty good season. One of the more reliable arms in the back of the Kingfish pen, but he's struggled as of late. ERA north of 10. He's allowed lopsided numbers in each of his last 2 outings. Had one really bad outing against Battle Creek where he allowed 5 over 2 frames. Set to face Mebin here, who already launched a solo homer tonight. First pitch is inside for ball 1. That was the breaking ball of Pfeiffer. Right-hander from Indiana State, 6'3", 220, the junior. Features a slider, fastball, changeup. He's set at the letters, looking back to runner Harding at second, fresh off his RBI single. The 1-0 is a fastball in third, sent foul first base side. 1-1 the count to Mebin. Pfeiffer pitched an inning, allowed a run. Got the loss the last time these two teams played back on June 9th. Mebin swings and fouls a ball back. It's 1-2. Mebin got the RBI on that occasion. Hit into a fielder's choice with the bases loaded in that inning against Pfeiffer. Looking for another RBI in this situation to start to make this game a little interesting. It's 8-3 Kingfish here in the 8th. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Pfeiffer looks back the runner. Now the pitch. Breaking ball. Mebin check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. So it's a strikeout swinging for Pfeiffer. A big second out in the 8th here for Kenosha. And Pfeiffer's slider broke away from the bat path of Mebin, who just couldn't hold up his swing. First base umpire Mark D'Amelio, who's been the source of controversy a lot this inning with the 2 slides from Rockford going into second base, makes the call. And there is now 2 down in the frame. That'll bring up Ben Brantley. 0 for 3 today. First pitch to him is down low for ball 1. It kicked away for a moment from Williams, who's quick to pounce on it, so Harding stays put at second base. Last chance for Brantley. Looking for hits in 9 of his first 11 games. Williams is a little slow to get to his feet. McSheffrey will come out, make sure his catcher is all right. And it looks like he'll be good to go. He's going to walk Pfeiffer back to the mound as the two have a discussion. Well, look, this is a situation you're looking for right here if you're the Rivets. You're trying to burn another Kingfish arm going into tomorrow's home game in Rockford, and they were able to get the ball to Pfeiffer. Just continue to grind out at-bats here. It's 1-0 to Brantley. So Mount Conference concluded. Harding still leading off second base. 8-3 ball game. Brantley back in the dish. Brantley wiggles the bat path down low. Now brings it onto his left shoulder. Here's the pitch. There's the changeup from Pfeiffer, and he gets a strike over on Brantley to even the count. Rest of the action in the Great Lakes East. Kalamazoo is able to hold on and beat Fond du Lac 7-5. 3 runs in the top of the 9th for the Dock Spiders. Make that one interesting. But the Growlers will stay atop the Great Lakes East with that win, regardless of what Kenosha does here today, as another changeup leads outside 2-1 to Brantley. Traverse City defeats Kokomo 7-3. And then at the Duck Pond, it's 7-4 Battle Jacks in the bottom of the 7th. Big day for the Great Lakes East. Rockford on the losing end right now would drop to 2.5 back in the standings. 2-1. Brantley swings and sends a bouncing ball foul towards the facing of the field level seating. 2-2. Pfeiffer dangles his arm down low, rotates it along his right kneecap as he pins the glove to his chest and gets the sign from his catcher. Now comes set, the 2-2. Brantley takes upstairs, counts full. Luke Patzner, Ricky Castro, your projected starters tomorrow at Rivets Stadium. Three-two. Swung on, chopped on the right side. It eludes the glove of the pitcher, falls into no man's land. Brantley is safe. Harding goes up to third. It's an infield single for Brantley. So now hits in 9 of 11 in a Rivets uniform. Runners are on the corners. The door is slightly being left open. We'll see if Cam McDonald can come up with a big hit here with 2 outs in the 8th. It was a really tough one on a chopper from Brantley. Pfeiffer was fully outstretched to his left, running up the first baseline. Just couldn't snag the baseball. And then after he tried to field it so late, Tobias, who was standing on the bag in case Pfeiffer had to shuffle it to him, couldn't get off in time to go after the baseball. So it falls into no man's land. And that's how Brantley's able to beat it out. McDonald today 0 for 3 into the righty box. Pfeiffer stands out, angled towards the lefty batter's box. Now comes set on the first base side of the rubber. Here's the first pitch. Down low, ball 1. McDonald does have a home run this summer, 9 RBIs. RBIs in 5 of 9 for the Rivets, hits in 6 of 9, but none so far today. One ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch. McDonald, a big swing and a miss. Was looking for the Fishbowl Club and the Bambino out in left field. Pulled off the baseball. The count's 1-1. McDonald swings, pops it up. Over towards the Rivets bullpen. It'll drift into the seats. 1-2, the count to Cam McDonald. If you can get a big hit here, something that finds a gap, you start to really force Kenosha to use more arms out of that bullpen set up tomorrow. Again, even if Rockford can't come all the way back in this game, every at-bat an important one to try to put the pressure on, utilize more high-leverage arms, and keep yours available. It's a marathon, not a sprint in the Northwoods League. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. McDonald strikes out at a slider that breaks away. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Pfeiffer, who gets out of the frame with only the 1 run across to the line of Baker. 8-3 Kenosha will into the bottom of the 8th after this here on the Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 8th inning. Rivets trail by 5, looking to throw up a final 0. Have a chance in the 9th. They face 2-3-4 in the Kenosha lineup. Kent Evans Jr. out for his second inning of relief. So James McCoy to lead things off. Switch hitting outfielder will bat from the left side against the right-handed throwing Evans. He's reached base 3 times today. Walked and scored, singled and scored, hit by a pitch. Last time up in the 6th. 1 for 2, reaching base 3 times today. Then you've got the red-hot Jacob Tobias on deck. First pitch from Evans. Fastball runs well outside. One out. Fastball over the outside edge, evens the count. Evans out of the windup, snaps the breaking ball. That's his plus pitch, when he can drop in that curveball for a strike. It's been devastating to hitters at times through his last 3 outings, and he gets a big second strike on McCoy there. 1-2. Golfed on the left side, past the outstretched glove of the first baseman, Mebane, into right field for a base hit. Long turn from McCoy. Throw goes into second base, so he'll head back. Second single of the game for James McCoy, 6th hit this season against Rockford. He's aboard to start the 8th. It's a 5-run game, but this is certainly an at-bat that'll be watched very intently here. Jacob Tobias, 3 for 4 today, 4 RBIs. He's a triple shy of the cycle. Wiggles the bat off his left end. Hands clasped closely to his hands. He swings and pops the first pitch up. Playable in shallow left field. It's a mile high, but Klein, the left fielder, tracks it down in shallow left for the first out. That was hit high enough to be a triple if it would have fallen, but Klein's able to make the catch, and there's 1 down in the 8th. One down for Drake Westcott. 0 for 3 today with a walk. 0 for 2, excuse me. He delivered a sac fly his last time up in the 6th. Does have an RBI to his name. Evans, first pitch to him. Snaps it in for strike 1. That's a changeup. Middle infield set to turn 2 for Rockford. Try to get out of this 8th inning quickly. It's been really good stuff from Kent Evans Jr. to try to spell this Rivets bullpen. Jams Westcott with a fastball. It's popped foul. He's down in the count 0-2. Three innings from the starter, Tanner Knight, who got knocked around, all things considered, from this Kingfish team. Allowed 4 earned runs on 5 hits through 3 innings. Then Jacob Newman, a couple of walks, came around to score on the 3-run homer from Tobias. Here's a line shot that's through the middle for a base hit, past the outstretched glove of Harding. 2 singles in the frame, 2 base runners with 1 out here in the 8th. But Newman allowed the 3-run homer. Then Hanscom through 2 innings allowed 1 run to score on the sac fly. Evans trying to be the first Rivets reliever tonight with a 0 on his stat line, but he's got 2 on with 1 out for Brady Council. Ground ball could end the inning. Council's hit a lot of elevated pitching today. 2-run homer in the first, singled in the 5th, sandwich in between, a couple of flyouts. 2 for 4, first pitch, check swing. He did not go on the high fastball. It's 1-0. Council showing offense that he did not display in Minnesota this season. Been a completely different hitter in the Northwoods League. Just 200 for the Golden Gophers. Called strike 2. Council's single made it his 7th multi-hit game of the season tonight and a 9-game hitting streak. But he had 5 multi-hit games all season at Minnesota where he played over 30 contests. 1-1. Big wave and a miss at an Evans curveball. 1-2 the count. Of course, the son of Craig Council, current Brewers manager and two-time World Series champion. Craig won the titles with the Marlins back in '97, where he scored the series-winning run in the 11th after delivering the game-tying sac fly. Definitely etched into MLB infamy. Brady's trying to nail his own legacy as time is called from Counsell before the pitch is delivered from Evans. So it stays at 1-2. Pitch from Evans down low with the fastball, counts even at 2-2. Brady's done a lot successful in the Northwoods League this summer. He's found his offensive game, but he's done it his own way. He hasn't been able to recreate his father's crazy batting stance. That's something his dad preached to him. Have to find your own way. Doesn't want him imitating himself or trying to live up to his legacy as Evans drops in a slider, swung on and missed for strike 3. Actually, he gets a piece, so he'll stay in the box at 2-2. Brady Counsell just able to get a piece of that slider to stay in. Had no starts in his first 8 at Minnesota, but started 24 of the last 27. Freshman really broke out later on in the season for a Golden Gophers team that ultimately struggled. 2-2 from Evans, low and away with the fastball, counts full. Well, there's nobody up in that Rivets bullpen. This is Kevin Evans' inning to finish. He's a ground ball away from getting out of it, but he could load the bases with one out here. And remember, it's the defensive replacement, Drake Varnado, who's scheduled to hit for Iannatone on deck. Here's the 3-2. Runners off. Pitches low and away. Ball 4. First walk from Evans, and the bases are loaded with one out. Baker will come out to talk to his right-hander as the pinch hitter Varnado set to come in. Just the 7th game for Varnado. He's only 2 for 21 so far in Kingfish colors. 2 RBIs to his name, though. Has a chance to add on here with the bases loaded and one out in the bottom of the 8th. 8-3 Kingfish lead. Varnado is 0 for his last 10 with 3 strikeouts. Started his college career at Arkansas, where he played sparingly for the Razorbacks in 15 games this season, went 4 for 17 at the dish. First pitch from Evans, breaking ball over the middle of the plate for strike 1. Varnado played his freshman season at Arkansas, then decided to enter the transfer portal. He's recently found a new home at Arizona State, announced it just a few weeks ago. Swings and bloops one into shallow right field. Out the second baseman, Harding can't secure it. It drops just outstretched to reach of his glove into right center field for a base hit. Everybody moves up 90 feet. McCoy scores. Up to third is Westcott. Second is Counsell on the RBI single from Varnado, who gets his 3rd RBI of the season, and it's 9-3 Kenosha. Bases remain loaded with one out for Josh Leslie. 10th hit for the Kingfish. Not too many Kingfish looking for their first hit today. Leslie, one of them. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a hit by pitch. Righty on righty matchup against Evans. First pitch swung on, fouled back. Kenosha trying to keep pace with Kalamazoo. It's up the Great Lakes East. They'll remain a half game back, assuming they can close this one out. Rockford will drop to 2.5 back before they clash at Rivets Stadium tomorrow. 0-1 from Evans. Fastball away, 2-0. Well, Leslie certainly has plenty of experience in the Northwoods League. This is his third season in Kenosha. Started here in 2020 during the pandemic season. The pod system was a extensive series between the Kingfish and the K-Town Bobbers, two teams that played each other every day for a repetition in the Northwoods League pod system. Next pitch is low from Evans, and Leslie ahead of the count 3-1. Still nobody up in the Rivets pen. They'll allow Evans to ride this one out. 2 balls and a strike. Evans set at the letters. Glove peered up towards his face. Comes back down in the 2-1 inside. Leslie has to raise his arms out of the way. The count's 3-1. Evans has to find the zone or he'll walk a run in here. 9-3 Kingfish in the 8th. Deep breath in the 3-1. Swung on, popped up. Into right field, McDonald drifting in. He's got a plus arm in right. He makes a catch. Runner tags, thinks about going. It's a seed into home plate. Easily could have thrown out the runner at third and Westcott, who holds up, so there's 2 down. And that's a plus arm from Cam McDonald right there that holds off a run. He had 8 outfield assists this season at Illinois, already 1 in the Northwoods League this season. So bases stay loaded with 2 outs for Gage Williams. Williams 0 for 4 today. Waiting for his first hit. First pitch from Evans is fouled straight back, the fastball. 0-1 to Williams. Just a 154 hitter this spring for Wichita State. He's had 3 straight multi-hit games. Won't continue that streak tonight, but looking to stay hot at the dish. Swing and a miss at an Evans slider, who's 1 pitch away from getting out of the frame. Williams started the season 2 for his first 26. Bounced back pretty nicely in his last handful of games. Today has not been his best day offensively. Chance here with the bases loaded. Evans trying to get out. 0-2 pitch sent deep to left field. Klein going back at the track at the wall. It is gone. He won't keep the multi-hit streak going, but that'll more than make up for it. A grand slam for Gage Williams on an 0-2 pitch. And now the Kingfish have hit for the home run cycle, and they lead it 13-3. Five runs in the 8th have put this one all but to bed for Kenosha. 10-run game. Michael Dallas bats with the bases empty and 2 outs. Evans fires in a strike, rather, a ball just low the knees. Dallas 1 for 4 today, singled his last time up. Solo shot and 2-run shot get out of the way in the first inning. Then the 3-run shot from Tobias in the 4th. And now the grand slam from Williams in the 8th to complete the home run cycle. 2 balls, no strikes to Dallas. Evans fires fastball outside. Rio. It's over the inside edge. Dallas was about to toss his bat back to the dugout. He'll stay in the box at 3-1. This one's popped foul, and now the count goes to 3-2. Evans had a pretty quick 7th inning. He's got to start to watch that 35 pitch count now. If he loses the batter here in Dallas, and faces the top of the lineup again. You start to worry about him getting that 35 pitch limit. 3-2's popped up. Into right field. McDonald started back. Now comes in. He makes a catch. Side is retired, but Kenosha adds 5 in the 8th, including a grand slam from Gage Williams. 13-3 Kingfish as they go to close it out in the 9th after this on the Rivets. Last ups for Rockford here at the top of the 9th. Rivets trail by 10. Robertson, Baker, Klein, your scheduled hitters against Drew Pfeiffer. 13-3 Kingfish over the Rivets. A night where Rockford could have went within half a game of the Great Lakes East lead has gone by the wayside. They'll be 2.5 down heading home tomorrow to finish this home-and-home stretch with the Kingfish. Drew Pfeiffer still on the mound. His first pitch to Robertson is down low for ball 1. Robertson's 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Home run cycle tonight for the Kingfish. Solo shot and 2-run shot in the first. 3-run shot in the fourth, and then a grand slam in the last half inning for Gage Williams. Put this game well out of reach. Next pitch is swung on and slashed foul from Robertson the other way. 1-1 the count. Again, Kalamazoo wins tonight to take down Fond du Lac 7-5. Battle Creek and Madison still in progress, and Traverse City taking down Kokomo. Of course, Traverse City and Kokomo still a couple games behind the Rivets, so it doesn't affect them too much and any potential positioning. Rockford currently occupies 4th place in a very crowded Great Lakes East. Pitch is inside to Robertson, 2-1. 7-4 Battle Jacks in Madison ahead in the bottom of the 8th. Your update on that one. 2-1. Outside, 3 balls and a strike. And this thing taken out of the Rivets' hands to a certain extent when you talk about any potential first half titles. They have one more game against Kenosha tomorrow to try to split even with the Kingfish in the first half. They have 2 against Battle Creek. No more games against Kalamazoo as Robertson lines a base hit into right field in the 3-run count. So he's aboard to start the 9th inning, but only no more games against Kalamazoo. No more games against Kenosha after tomorrow. They could split with both of them with the win against Kenosha tomorrow, but you start to look at games that might define who wins this first half title. The 2 games that Rockford lost in Kalamazoo with a 7-run lead in both of them. I mean, that's a game right now where if Rockford wins those games, they're in first place entering the night in the division. That's how close it is in the Great Lakes East. So it's something you got to look at as the season runs on. Every game matters, even if it feels like it doesn't. Baker swings, pops the first one, foul. Drew's 1 for 2 today, walked in the second, singled in the seventh. Oh, 1. Fastball over the inside edge makes it 0-2 to Baker. He's got the hometown product, Colton Klein. Of course, his Carthage roots and his Kenosha Kings roots in the on-deck circle. Could be representing potentially his last at-bat here at Simmons Field, at least for the time being. 0-2. Up and away. Here's the next 1-2 pitch. Baker takes a called strike 3. Over the inside edge, Baker stands there for a while before heading back to the dugout. Baker goes down looking, third strikeout for Pfeiffer, 1 down in the ninth. Here's Klein. First pitch swinging, foul back. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Flew out to right field and a couple of groundouts to his name. Of course, you go over to the Great Lakes West side, you got Wisconsin Rapids quickly approaching their potential first half title. They already have a healthy lead in the Great Lakes West. They won 6-2 tonight in Lakeshore. Next pitch from Klein, fouled off, 0-2. Oh and 2, the count to Colton Klein. 9-hole man and Jeff Ince waits on deck. 13-3 Kingfish here in the ninth. Rockford down to 2 more outs. Here's the 0-2. Klein takes, just slow. Here's the 1-2. Klein bloops it out towards left field. Everything's been carrying out there tonight. It gets a little carry in it, but Varnado is able to make the catch, backpedaling for out number 2. 2 down and a runner on first. Jeff Ince, last hope to extend the game for Rockford. And you've got Brendan Bannon on deck. So Crittenberger will not bat again in this game. First pitch to Jeff Ince, fouled off his foot. And he's a little slow to get up right now in the lefty batter's box. Stooped over, helmet towards the ground. Head coach JT Scara is going to come out to check on him. There was an audible yelp from Ince when that ball got fouled off his foot. He's 0 for 3 today, but certainly given the injury struggles he's already had this season, not playing in the spring, he's not getting up right now, and you really hope he's okay. Trainer's out there for the Kingfish. Ince is trying to get back to his feet and walk this one off. He's getting some cheers from the crowd here at Kenosha as he gets back to his feet, but he's using his bat to keep himself upright right now. He might not be good to continue this AB. We'll have to wait and see. Against a 10-run game in the ninth inning, let me try to protect the health of Ince, who already is nursing a hamstring injury. Of course, you know Jeff, he's going to want to stay in there and complete the at-bat. Looks like Jeff Vince is going to be good to go. Certainly a good sign to see. So no balls in one strike to Ince. He'll take a couple practice swings before getting set. Switch hitter turns back around to the left side against the righty Pfeiffer. 0-1. This one lined out towards left field. It'll get down on a hop in front of Varnado for a base hit. So Jeff Ince shakes off the foul ball and ends his slump. That snaps an 0 for 18 stretch for Ince and allows him to reach base. He's going to get substituted out immediately for a pinch runner as he limps off of first base after getting that base hit. Certainly still a little rattled after that play. So Luke Sefcik comes in as a pinch runner. So Sefcik is on first, and it's a pinch hitter for Ty Crittenberger, Brandon Bannon. Crittenberger's game ends with a 2 for 4 day. Here's Bannon for his first action of the contest. Righty-righty matchup. Robertson over at second base, advancing on the single. It's a called strike one to Bannon. A 1 on the way. Bannon watches it low. It kicks away from the catcher, Williams. So both runners will move up 90 feet. Sefcik to second, Robertson to third. Maybe a chance for Rockford to get some late runs to make this look more pleasant on the scoreboard. It's 1-1 to Bannon. 2 in scoring position with 2 outs in the ninth, 13-3 Kingfish. Bannon, as he tends to do, choked up on the bat, wiggling it off his right shoulder. Super bent down at the knees in the righty box. The next pitch stings the outside edge. A fastball from Pfeiffer has Rockford down to its last strike. Not the fullest of nights here at Simmons Field, but the crowd that stuck around through this home run derby put on by the Kingfish. Sticking around, making themselves heard here. 1-2, 2 outs. In the ninth, here's the pitch. Swung on, grounded back up the middle to the second baseman. Counsell is throw to first is in time, and the ball game's over. Rockford falls 13-3 to the Kenosha Kingfish here on a Thursday evening from Simmons Field. Was a crucial run in the grand scheme of things here in the Great Lakes East, and Kenosha gets the better of this front end of the home and home. The loss goes to Tanner Knight, who drops to 1-1 on the campaign so far this season. The win goes to Jacob Gehrig. Came on in relief 4 scoreless innings. We'll move to 1-0 on the campaign. And that will do it here from Simmons Field. Contest that took just over 3 hours to complete. 13-3, Kingfish winning. We'll step aside on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. We'll see you next in Madison after a 4-game homestand for the Rockford Rivets. A game tomorrow against Kenosha, 2 against Traverse City, and then 1 against Madison. We'll see you next at the Duck Pond. But until then, Andre Magaro signing off